sloppy effort. Boston made 2 errors, left 8 men on base, and losing pitcher Mike Timlin served up a gopher ball to Kenji Jojima to put the game away. Timlin was pitching for the first time since July 23rd because of a sore shoulder. Daisuke Matsuzaka has already faced Seattle 3 times this season. He has a record of 0-1. He goes for win number 13 on the year after losing last Sunday in Tampa. Jared Washburn has not won or thrown a quality start since beating Kansas City on July 4th. The left-hander allowed 3 earned runs in 5 innings last time out versus Oakland. His 4.11 ERA is below the American League average. David Ortiz homered off Horacio Ramirez to lead off the 3rd inning last night, marking just the second time Big Papi hit a big fly versus a southpaw this season. Though the designated hitter is hitting .323 on the season, his 19 home runs are way off his 54 home run pace from last season. The struggles for Richie Sexson continue. Last night he struck out 3 times to lower his season average to 196, hearing lots of boos on his way to the dugout. It's the Mariners and the Red Sox, Washburn versus Matsuzaka. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.TV, beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's the Seattle Mariners and the Boston Red Sox in Game 2 of a 3-game set at Safeco Field. Jared Washburn takes the mound for the Mariners. He is opposed by Daisuke Matsuzaka of the Red Sox. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. In the Mariners' 7-4 win last night, shortstop Unieski Betancourt hit a 3-run homer, and Adam Jones sparked a rally in his much-anticipated season debut. Jones went 2 for 4 in place of the slumping Raul Ibanez. 5 Mariner relievers collaborated on 5 shutout innings in relief of Horacio Ramirez. J.J. Putz pitched a scoreless 9th for his 32nd save of the season. The Mariners are 60-47 now on the year. They stand only 2.5 games back of the Angels in the AL West. The Red Sox saw their AL East lead fall to 7 games in a sloppy effort. Boston made 2 errors, left 8 men on base, and losing pitcher Mike Timlin served up a gopher ball to Kenji Jojima to put the game away. Timlin was pitching for the first time since July 23rd because of a sore shoulder. Daisuke Matsuzaka has already faced Seattle 3 times this season. He has a record of 0-1. He goes for win number 13 on the year after losing last Sunday in Tampa. Jared Washburn has not won or thrown a quality start since beating Kansas City on July 4th. The left-hander allowed 3 earned runs in 5 innings last time out versus Oakland. His 4.11 ERA is below the American League average. David Ortiz homered off Horacio Ramirez to lead off the 3rd inning last night, marking just the second time Big Papi hit a big fly versus a southpaw this season. Though the designated hitter is hitting .323 on the season, his 19 home runs are way off his 54 home run pace from last season. The struggles for Richie Sexson continue. Last night he struck out 3 times to lower his season average to 196, hearing lots of boos on his way to the dugout. It's the Mariners and the Red Sox, Washburn versus Matsuzaka. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.TV, beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's the Seattle Mariners and the Boston Red Sox in Game 2 of a 3-game set at Safeco Field. Jared Washburn takes the mound for the Mariners. He is opposed by Daisuke Matsuzaka of the Red Sox. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. In the Mariners' 7-4 win last night, shortstop Unieski Betancourt hit a 3-run homer, and Adam Jones sparked a rally in his much-anticipated season debut. Jones went 2 for 4 in place of the slumping Raul Ibanez. 5 Mariner relievers collaborated on 5 shutout innings in relief of Horacio Ramirez. J.J. Putz pitched a scoreless 9th for his 32nd save of the season. The Mariners are 60-47 now on the year. They stand only 2.5 games back of the Angels in the AL West. The Red Sox saw their AL East lead fall to 7 games in a sloppy effort. Boston made 2 errors, left 8 men on base, and losing pitcher Mike Timlin served up a gopher ball to Kenji Jojima to put the game away. Timlin was pitching for the first time since July 23rd because of a sore shoulder. Daisuke Matsuzaka has already faced Seattle 3 times this season. He has a record of 0-1. He goes for win number 13 on the year after losing last Sunday in Tampa. Jared Washburn has not won or thrown a quality start since beating Kansas City on July 4th. The left-hander allowed 3 earned runs in 5 innings last time out versus Oakland. His 4.11 ERA is below the American League average. David Ortiz homered off Horacio Ramirez to lead off the 3rd inning last night, marking just the 2nd time Big Papi hit a big fly versus a southpaw this season. Though the designated hitter is hitting .323 on the season, his 19 home runs are way off his 54 home run pace from last season. The struggles for Richie Sexson continue. Last night he struck out 3 times to lower his season average to 196, hearing lots of boos on his way to the dugout. It's the Mariners and the Red Sox, Washburn versus Matsuzaka. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv, beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's the Seattle Mariners and the Boston Red Sox in Game 2 of a 3-game set at Safeco Field. Jared Washburn takes the mound for the Mariners. He is opposed by Daisuke Matsuzaka of the Red Sox. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. In the Mariners' 7-4 win last night, shortstop Unieski Betancourt hit a 3-run homer and Adam Jones sparked a rally at his much-anticipated season debut. Jones went 2 for 4 in place of the slumping Raul Ibanez. 5 Mariner relievers collaborated on 5 shutout innings in relief of Horacio Ramirez. J.J. Putz pitched a scoreless 9th for his 32nd save of the season. The Mariners are 60-47 now on the year. They stand only 2.5 games back of the Angels in the AL West. The Red Sox saw their AL East lead fall to 7 games in a sloppy effort. Boston made 2 errors, left 8 men on base, and losing pitcher Mike Timlin served up a gopher ball to Kenji Jojima to put the game away. Timlin was pitching for the first time since July 23rd because of a sore shoulder. Daisuke Matsuzaka has already faced Seattle 3 times this season. He has a record of 0-1. He goes for win number 13 on the year after losing last Sunday in Tampa. Jared Washburn has not won or thrown a quality start since beating Kansas City on July 4th. The left-hander allowed 3 earned runs in 5 innings last time out versus Oakland. His 4.11 ERA is below the American League average. David Ortiz homered off Horacio Ramirez to lead off the 3rd inning last night, marking just the 2nd time Big Papi hit a big fly versus a southpaw this season. Though the designated hitter is hitting .323 on the season, his 19 home runs are way off his 54 home run pace from last season. The struggles for Richie Sexson continue. Last night he struck out 3 times to lower his season average to 196, hearing lots of boos on his way to the dugout. It's the Mariners and the Red Sox, Washburn versus Matsuzaka. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv, beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's the Seattle Mariners and the Boston Red Sox in Game 2 of a 3-game set at Safeco Field. Jared Washburn takes the mound for the Mariners. He is opposed by Daisuke Matsuzaka of the Red Sox. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. In the Mariners' 7-4 win last night, shortstop Unieski Betancourt hit a 3-run homer and Adam Jones sparked a rally at his much-anticipated season debut. Jones went 2 for 4 in place of the slumping Raul Ibanez. 5 Mariner relievers collaborated on 5 shutout innings in relief of Horacio Ramirez. J.J. Putz pitched a scoreless 9th for his 32nd save of the season. The Mariners are 60-47 now on the year. They stand only 2.5 games back of the Angels in the AL West. The Red Sox saw their AL East lead fall to 7 games in a sloppy effort. Boston made 2 errors, left 8 men on base, and losing pitcher Mike Timlin served up a gopher ball to Kenji Jojima to put the game away. Timlin was pitching for the first time since July 23rd because of a sore shoulder. Daisuke Matsuzaka has already faced Seattle 3 times this season. He has a record of 0-1. He goes for win number 13 on the year after losing last Sunday in Tampa. Jared Washburn has not won or thrown a quality start since beating Kansas City on July 4th. The left-hander allowed 3 earned runs in 5 innings last time out versus Oakland. His 4.11 ERA is below the American League average. David Ortiz homered off Horacio Ramirez to lead off the 3rd inning last night, marking just the 2nd time Big Papi hit a big fly versus a southpaw this season. Though the designated hitter is hitting .323 on the season, his 19 home runs are way off his 54 home run pace from last season. The struggles for Richie Sexson continue. Last night he struck out 3 times to lower his season average to 196, hearing lots of boos on his way to the dugout. It's the Mariners and the Red Sox. Washburn versus Matsuzaka. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's the Seattle Mariners and the Boston Red Sox in Game 2 of a 3-game set at Safeco Field. Jared Washburn takes the mound for the Mariners. He is opposed by Daisuke Matsuzaka of the Red Sox. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. In the Mariners' 7-4 win last night, shortstop Unieski Betancourt hit a 3-run homer, and Adam Jones sparked a rally in his much-anticipated season debut. Jones went 2 for 4 in place of the slumping Raul Ibanez. 5 Mariner relievers collaborated on 5 shutout innings in relief of Horacio Ramirez. J.J. Putz pitched a scoreless 9th for his 32nd save of the season. The Mariners are 60-47 now on the year. They stand only 2.5 games back of the Angels in the AL West. The Red Sox saw their AL East lead fall to 7 games in a sloppy effort. Boston made 2 errors, left 8 men on base, and losing pitcher Mike Timlin served up a gopher ball to Kenji Jojima to put the game away. Timlin was pitching for the first time since July 23rd because of a sore shoulder. Daisuke Matsuzaka has already faced Seattle 3 times this season. He has a record of 0-1. He goes for win number 13 on the year after losing last Sunday in Tampa. Jared Washburn has not won or thrown a quality start since beating Kansas City on July 4th. The left-hander allowed 3 earned runs in 5 innings last time out versus Oakland. His 4.11 ERA is below the American League average. David Ortiz homered off Horacio Ramirez to lead off the 3rd inning last night, marking just the 2nd time Big Papi hit a big fly versus a southpaw this season. Though the designated hitter is hitting .323 on the season, his 19 home runs are way off his 54 home run pace from last season. The struggles for Richie Sexson continue. Last night he struck out 3 times to lower his season average to 196, hearing lots of boos on his way to the dugout. It's the Mariners and the Red Sox. Washburn versus Matsuzaka. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's the Seattle Mariners and the Boston Red Sox in Game 2 of a 3-game set at Safeco Field. Jared Washburn takes the mound for the Mariners. He is opposed by Daisuke Matsuzaka of the Red Sox. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. In the Mariners' 7-4 win last night, shortstop Unieski Betancourt hit a 3-run homer, and Adam Jones sparked a rally in his much-anticipated season debut. Jones went 2 for 4 in place of the slumping Raul Ibanez. 5 Mariner relievers collaborated on 5 shutout innings in relief of Horacio Ramirez. J.J. Putz pitched a scoreless 9th for his 32nd save of the season. The Mariners are 60-47 now on the year. They stand only 2.5 games back of the Angels in the AL West. The Red Sox saw their AL East lead fall to 7 games in a sloppy effort. Boston made 2 errors, left 8 men on base, and losing pitcher Mike Timlin served up a gopher ball to Kenji Jojima to put the game away. Timlin was pitching for the first time since July 23rd because of a sore shoulder. Daisuke Matsuzaka has already faced Seattle 3 times this season. He has a record of 0-1. He goes for win number 13 on the year after losing last Sunday in Tampa. Jared Washburn has not won or thrown a quality start since beating Kansas City on July 4th. The left-hander allowed 3 earned runs in 5 innings last time out versus Oakland. His 4.11 ERA is below the American League average. David Ortiz homered off Horacio Ramirez to lead off the 3rd inning last night, marking just the 2nd time Big Papi hit a big fly versus a southpaw this season. Though the designated hitter is hitting .323 on the season, his 19 home runs are way off his 54 home run pace from last season. The struggles for Richie Sexson continue. Last night he struck out 3 times to lower his season average to 196, hearing lots of boos on his way to the dugout. It's the Mariners and the Red Sox. Washburn versus Matsuzaka. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's the Seattle Mariners and the Boston Red Sox in Game 2 of a 3-game set at Safeco Field. Jared Washburn takes the mound for the Mariners. He is opposed by Daisuke Matsuzaka of the Red Sox. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. In the Mariners' 7-4 win last night, shortstop Unieski Betancourt hit a 3-run homer and Adam Jones sparked a rally at his much-anticipated season debut. Jones went 2 for 4 in place of the slumping Raul Ibanez. 5 Mariner relievers collaborated on 5 shutout innings in relief of Horacio Ramirez. J.J. Putz pitched a scoreless ninth for his 32nd save of the season. The Mariners are 60-47 now on the year. They stand only 2.5 games back of the Angels in the AL West. The Red Sox saw their AL East lead fall to 7 games in a sloppy effort. Boston made 2 errors, left 8 men on base, and losing pitcher Mike Timlin served up a gopher ball to Kenji Jojima to put the game away. Timlin was pitching for the first time since July 23rd because of a sore shoulder. Daisuke Matsuzaka has already faced Seattle 3 times this season. He has a record of 0-1. He goes for win number 13 on the year after losing last Sunday in Tampa. Jared Washburn has not won or thrown a quality start since beating Kansas City on July 4th. The left-hander allowed 3 earned runs in 5 innings last time out versus Oakland. His 4.11 ERA is below the American League average. David Ortiz homered off Horacio Ramirez to lead off the 3rd inning last night, marking just the 2nd time Big Papi hit a big fly versus a southpaw this season. Though the designated hitter is hitting .323 on the season, his 19 home runs are way off his 54 home run pace from last season. The struggles for Richie Sexson continue. Last night he struck out 3 times to lower his season average to 196, hearing lots of boos on his way to the dugout. It's the Mariners and the Red Sox, Washburn versus Matsuzaka. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv, beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's the Seattle Mariners and the Boston Red Sox in Game 2 of a 3-game set at Safeco Field. Jared Washburn takes the mound for the Mariners. He is opposed by Daisuke Matsuzaka of the Red Sox. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. In the Mariners' 7-4 win last night, shortstop Unieski Betancourt hit a 3-run homer and Adam Jones sparked a rally at his much-anticipated season debut. Jones went 2 for 4 in place of the slumping Raul Ibanez. 5 Mariner relievers collaborated on 5 shutout innings in relief of Horacio Ramirez. J.J. Putz pitched a scoreless ninth for his 32nd save of the season. The Mariners are 60-47 now on the year. They stand only 2.5 games back of the Angels in the AL West. The Red Sox saw their AL East lead fall to 7 games in a sloppy effort. Boston made 2 errors, left 8 men on base, and losing pitcher Mike Timlin served up a gopher ball to Kenji Jojima to put the game away. Timlin was pitching for the first time since July 23rd because of a sore shoulder. Daisuke Matsuzaka has already faced Seattle 3 times this season. He has a record of 0-1. He goes for win number 13 on the year after losing last Sunday in Tampa. Jared Washburn has not won or thrown a quality start since beating Kansas City on July 4th. The left-hander allowed 3 earned runs in 5 innings last time out versus Oakland. His 4.11 ERA is below the American League average. David Ortiz homered off Horacio Ramirez to lead off the 3rd inning last night, marking just the 2nd time Big Papi hit a big fly versus a southpaw this season. Though the designated hitter is hitting .323 on the season, his 19 home runs are way off his 54 home run pace from last season. The struggles for Richie Sexson continue. Last night he struck out 3 times to lower his season average to 196, hearing lots of boos on his way to the dugout. It's the Mariners and the Red Sox, Washburn versus Matsuzaka. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv, beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's the Seattle Mariners and the Boston Red Sox in Game 2 of a 3-game set at Safeco Field. Jared Washburn takes the mound for the Mariners. He is opposed by Daisuke Matsuzaka of the Red Sox. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. In the Mariners' 7-4 win last night, shortstop Unieski Betancourt hit a 3-run homer and Adam Jones sparked a rally at his much-anticipated season debut. Jones went 2 for 4 in place of the slumping Raul Ibanez. 5 Mariner relievers collaborated on 5 shutout innings in relief of Horacio Ramirez. J.J. Putz pitched a scoreless ninth for his 32nd save of the season. The Mariners are 60-47 now on the year. They stand only 2.5 games back of the Angels in the AL West. The Red Sox saw their AL East lead fall to 7 games in a sloppy effort. Boston made 2 errors, left 8 men on base, and losing pitcher Mike Timlin served up a gopher ball to Kenji Jojima to put the game away. Timlin was pitching for the first time since July 23rd because of a sore shoulder. Daisuke Matsuzaka has already faced Seattle 3 times this season. He has a record of 0-1. He goes for win number 13 on the year after losing last Sunday in Tampa. Jared Washburn has not won or thrown a quality start since beating Kansas City on July 4th. The left-hander allowed 3 earned runs in 5 innings last time out versus Oakland. His 4.11 ERA is below the American League average. David Ortiz homered off Horacio Ramirez to lead off the 3rd inning last night, marking just the 2nd time Big Papi hit a big fly versus a southpaw this season. Though the designated hitter is hitting .323 on the season, his 19 home runs are way off his 54 home run pace from last season. The struggles for Richie Sexson continue. Last night he struck out 3 times to lower his season average to 196, hearing lots of boos on his way to the dugout. It's the Mariners and the Red Sox, Washburn versus Matsuzaka. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv, beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's the Seattle Mariners and the Boston Red Sox in Game 2 of a 3-game set at Safeco Field. Jared Washburn takes the mound for the Mariners. He is opposed by Daisuke Matsuzaka of the Red Sox. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. In the Mariners' 7-4 win last night, shortstop Yuniesky Betancourt hit a 3-run homer, and Adam Jones sparked a rally at his much-anticipated season debut. Jones went 2 for 4 in place of the slumping Raul Ibanez. 5 Mariner relievers collaborated on 5 shutout innings in relief of Horacio Ramirez. J.J. Putz pitched a scoreless 9th for his 32nd save of the season. The Mariners are 60-47 now on the year. They stand only 2.5 games back of the Angels in the AL West. The Red Sox saw their AL East lead fall to 7 games in a sloppy effort. Boston made 2 errors, left 8 men on base, and losing pitcher Mike Timlin served up a gopher ball to Kenji Jojima to put the game away. Timlin was pitching for the first time since July 23rd because of a sore shoulder. Daisuke Matsuzaka has already faced Seattle 3 times this season. He has a record of 0-1. He goes for win number 13 on the year after losing last Sunday in Tampa. Jared Washburn has not won or thrown a quality start since beating Kansas City on July 4th. The left-hander allowed 3 earned runs in 5 innings last time out versus Oakland. His 4.11 ERA is below the American League average. David Ortiz homered off Horacio Ramirez to lead off the 3rd inning last night, marking just the 2nd time Big Papi hit a big fly versus a southpaw this season. Though the designated hitter is hitting .323 on the season, his 19 home runs are way off his 54 home run pace from last season. The struggles for Richie Sexson continue. Last night he struck out 3 times to lower his season average to 196, hearing lots of boos on his way to the dugout. It's the Mariners and the Red Sox, Washburn versus Matsuzaka. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv, beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's the Seattle Mariners and the Boston Red Sox in Game 2 of a 3-game set at Safeco Field. Jared Washburn takes the mound for the Mariners. He is opposed by Daisuke Matsuzaka of the Red Sox. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. In the Mariners' 7-4 win last night, shortstop Yuniesky Betancourt hit a 3-run homer, and Adam Jones sparked a rally at his much-anticipated season debut. Jones went 2 for 4 in place of the slumping Raul Ibanez. 5 Mariner relievers collaborated on 5 shutout innings in relief of Horacio Ramirez. J.J. Putz pitched a scoreless 9th for his 32nd save of the season. The Mariners are 60-47 now on the year. They stand only 2.5 games back of the Angels in the AL West. The Red Sox saw their AL East lead fall to 7 games in a sloppy effort. Boston made 2 errors, left 8 men on base, and losing pitcher Mike Timlin served up a gopher ball to Kenji Jojima to put the game away. Timlin was pitching for the first time since July 23rd because of a sore shoulder. Daisuke Matsuzaka has already faced Seattle 3 times this season. He has a record of 0-1. He goes for win number 13 on the year after losing last Sunday in Tampa. Jared Washburn has not won or thrown a quality start since beating Kansas City on July 4th. The left-hander allowed 3 earned runs in 5 innings last time out versus Oakland. His 4.11 ERA is below the American League average. David Ortiz homered off Horacio Ramirez to lead off the 3rd inning last night, marking just the 2nd time Big Papi hit a big fly versus a southpaw this season. Though the designated hitter is hitting .323 on the season, his 19 home runs are way off his 54 home run pace from last season. The struggles for Richie Sexson continue. Last night he struck out 3 times to lower his season average to 196, hearing lots of boos on his way to the dugout. It's the Mariners and the Red Sox, Washburn versus Matsuzaka. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv, beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's the Seattle Mariners and the Boston Red Sox in Game 2 of a 3-game set at Safeco Field. Jared Washburn takes the mound for the Mariners. He is opposed by Daisuke Matsuzaka of the Red Sox. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. In the Mariners' 7-4 win last night, shortstop Unieski Betancourt hit a 3-run homer, and Adam Jones sparked a rally in his much-anticipated season debut. Jones went 2 for 4 in place of the slumping Raul Ibanez. 5 Mariner relievers collaborated on 5 shutout innings in relief of Horacio Ramirez. J.J. Putz pitched a scoreless 9th for his 32nd save of the season. The Mariners are 60-47 now on the year. They stand only 2.5 games back of the Angels in the AL West. The Red Sox saw their AL East lead fall to 7 games in a sloppy effort. Boston made 2 errors, left 8 men on base, and losing pitcher Mike Timlin served up a gopher ball to Kenji Jojima to put the game away. Timlin was pitching for the first time since July 23rd because of a sore shoulder. Daisuke Matsuzaka has already faced Seattle 3 times this season. He has a record of 0-1. He goes for win number 13 on the year after losing last Sunday in Tampa. Jared Washburn has not won or thrown a quality start since beating Kansas City on July 4th. The left-hander allowed 3 earned runs in 5 innings last time out versus Oakland. His 4.11 ERA is below the American League average. David Ortiz homered off Horacio Ramirez to lead off the 3rd inning last night, marking just the 2nd time Big Papi hit a big fly versus a southpaw this season. Though the designated hitter is hitting .323 on the season, his 19 home runs are way off his 54 home run pace from last season. The struggles for Richie Sexson continue. Last night he struck out 3 times to lower his season average to 196, hearing lots of boos on his way to the dugout. It's the Mariners and the Red Sox, Washburn versus Matsuzaka. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv, beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's the Seattle Mariners and the Boston Red Sox in Game 2 of a 3-game set at Safeco Field. Jared Washburn takes the mound for the Mariners. He is opposed by Daisuke Matsuzaka of the Red Sox. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. In the Mariners' 7-4 win last night, shortstop Unieski Betancourt hit a 3-run homer, and Adam Jones sparked a rally in his much-anticipated season debut. Jones went 2 for 4 in place of the slumping Raul.
Well, the weekend's festive atmosphere continues with the Blue Angels in the sky and the Thunderbolts on the water. We have a great, great area for recreation. And not only do we have in the sky and on the water, but here on the ground at Safeco Field, we have the 2nd game of the 3-game series between the Boston Red Sox and the Seattle Mariners. And as we have a look at the standings, there is a chance if Detroit loses and they are 3 outs away from doing so, the Mariners would be the wild card leader in the American League. As it is, they are 2 back of the Angels, who lost today against the Oakland Athletics. So in a pennant race, you bet your bottom dollar they are. How are you, everybody? Dave Niehaus along with Mike Blowers. Now, as we look at tonight's pitching matchup, Daisuke Matsuzaka was kind of a mystery man. He was given a lot of money coming out of Japan. There was the big showdown in Boston between he and Felix Hernandez. Felix Hernandez was brilliant that particular day. No longer is he a mystery man. We do know one thing. He is an outstanding pitcher.
He really is. Very talented pitcher. He has a plus fastball, plus changeup, very good breaking ball. And he's unique in the fact that he will pitch backwards in counts. In other words, if he's behind, he has the ability to throw his breaking ball over. And if he gets ahead of you, that's when he starts throwing his fastball. So he's a little bit different than most power pitchers, which I would consider him to be that. And they can be awfully tough at times. But the Mariners now will see him for the 4th time this year. There shouldn't be too many secrets.
Jared Washburn gets a start for the Mariners. As far as Washburn is concerned, it's been a while since he's beaten the Boston Red Sox.
It has been, but the Red Sox have not seen him this year, and I think the key for him tonight is clearly the top of the order, Pedroia and Euclid. He has to keep them off base. If he's able to do that, you kind of nullify what Ortiz and Ramirez can do. We know these guys are 2 of the best hitters in the league. Keep the 2 guys up front off the bases. Last night, Pedroia got on twice and scored both times.
We mentioned that Daisuke is not so much a mystery anymore. He is a good pitcher, and with more on Daisuke, let's check in with Dave Sims.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. As we look at one of the more intriguing pitchers in Major League Baseball, Daisuke Matsuzaka, he was all-world over in Japan. He's 12-8 with the Red Sox. This will be his 4th start against the Mariners. The Mariners have won 2 of those games. Let's review some of the numbers in our Chevrolet storylines. Back on April 11th, remember that was the Felix brilliant performance in which he one-hit the Red Sox. Mariners won it 3-0. Then at Fenway, when we went back for the makeup game, Daisuke walked the first 3 batters and allowed 5 runs in the first inning, but the Red Sox come back to win it 8-7. And then here on June 27th, part of the sweep completed by the Mariners over the Red Sox, Daisuke allowed an RBI single to Ichiro, and the Mariners went on to win the game 2-1 in 11 innings. As you know, 9 consecutive wins by the Mariners against the Red Sox here in Safeco. Will they make it 10? We'll be back to find out in a moment. Dave and Mike will have the starting lineups right after this.
Is brought to you by your Northwest Dodge dealers. Visit PacAmGold.com for information on the 2007 Northwest Dodge Dealers Pacific Amateur Golf Classic. by Rico. Move your ideas forward with Rico. Dependability. And by AT&T. Singular's name is now AT&T. Your world delivered. To the lineups and Michael.
Thank you, Dave. For the Seattle Mariners tonight, John McLaren. See, it's Ichiro Vidro Gian. You can see he's had success against Daisuke early on, 4 for 8. Ibanez, Beltre, Broussard, Jojima, Lopez, and Betancourt hitting 9.
And Mr. Brad Adam is out there with something brand new and shiny he wants to give away. So let's check in with Mr. Adam.
Thanks, Dave. If you've been to a game here at Safeco Field, you no doubt have seen some great, exciting Mariners baseball. You also might have seen this brand new Dodge Nitro truck right behind me right here. On August 27th, one lucky Mariners fan is going to win this truck in a pregame contest at Safeco Field. To enter to win, you just visit your Northwest Dodge dealers now through August 12th. Mariners and Red Sox coming up, and Dave and Mike will be back with first pitch right after this.
The same will be in evidence tomorrow afternoon as Seafair Weekend wraps up. We have the middle game of the 3-game series here at Safeco. Mariners Baseball on FSN, brought to you by Banner Bank. Better ideas, better banking. By Les Schwab, celebrating 50 years of pride in performance. And by Emerald Queen Casino, where there's a world of dining opportunities. For information, visit emeraldqueen.com. The sky's alive with great shows here over the weekend. And right now, let's check the Boston lineups.
Okay. Tonight's lineups are brought to you by AT&T. Yeah, Pedroia leading off. Euclid, Ortiz. You can see he had a pretty good night last night. Ramirez, Lowell, Veritek, Drew, Crisp, and Lugo hitting 9th. Our Rico scouting report on Jared Washburn. This will be his first appearance against the Red Sox this year. See the 4 and 5 batters this year. Held them to just a 164 average. Hopefully that'll be the case tonight. And the Mariners defense. Ibanez, Ichiro Gian, Beltre, Betancourt, Lopez, Broussard getting started at first base. Kenji behind the plate. And Jared Washburn is on the mound.
Well, stepping in, Dustin Pedroia, the kid from Arizona State, has been very aggressive of late. He's been on fire, taking a strike, and we are underway. Mike Everett is the man calling balls and strikes this evening. With Jerry Davis at first base, Alfonso Marquez at second, and Chris Guccione around at third. That counted a ball and a strike. 73 degrees at game time this evening. Wind out of the north at 2 miles an hour. So another perfect evening for baseball here at Safeco Field. And a towering pop-up outside of third. And Beltre has got plenty of time to just coast with it and make the easy catch. The Mariners have the best record in baseball against the East with the win last night. Not only their 9th consecutive win against the Red Sox here. You have to go all the way back to July of last year to find the Red Sox winning a game here. The Mariners are 19-10 against the East. And all of a sudden the New York Yankees winners today. Yankees only 7 back. Outside a little bit to Kevin Youkilis. A lot of baseball to be played. Youkilis brought up in Cincinnati, a great Pete Rose fan as a kid, a Cincinnati fan. Plays the game hard like Rose did.
Heard there was a milestone in that Yankee game today.
That's right. A-Rod became the youngest man in history to hit 500 home runs at just a few days after he turned 32 years of age. If he wants to, I see nothing holding him back from 800 home runs.
Well, I mean, at his pace that he's on right now, he's going to go over 40 this year. And you'd think if he plays till he's 40, another 8 years, 30 to 35 homers a year, he's going to be right there. I think it comes down to what you said, too. Does he want to do it? I think that he does. I think those numbers are important to him.
Up the middle. Red Sox Nation here, as you can hear. You can hear the Ukes in the background as David Ortiz steps up to the plate. Ortiz with a home run, his 19th of the year last night. That against Horacio Ramirez in the 3rd inning. And the shift is on. The one time the Mariners did not put the shift on against Ortiz last night in the 7th inning. He rolled it through right where Lopez is playing. Deep over there in the hole at second base. A strike to him.
Mentioned the home run he hit last night. It was on a breaking ball from Ramirez early in the count. Left it up. Interesting to watch Jared go at him tonight.
There's a breaking ball with the knees for a strike. And that barely missed. As we mentioned, Oakland this afternoon nipping the Angels 2-1 on only 2 hits, and you have to go all the way back to 1995 to find an A's club winning a ball game on only 2 hits. Right in on his hands. So Mariner Nation a little bit in attendance here tonight also.
And it's good to see. You can see this fastball by Jarrett's inside down. That's where you want to pitch and keep the ball down. Same thing with Manny, who's coming up next. Lowell's having a good year behind him. Pretty good club.
Slow breaking ball that time, and he's out in front of it. Oh, what a dandy that slow curveball was.
Well, slow is right. You can see from Joe's tracer, 70 miles an hour.
And the fastball a little low and outside. It's over in Detroit. And the White Sox beat the Tigers 7-5. So as of right now, the Mariners are the leaders in the wild card race, pending the outcome of this game by a percentage point or so.
You already see the difference in speeds from Jared, and it's just one at bat. The breaking ball at 70 miles an hour, that last fastball 91. He'll certainly cut that in on your hands. Not afraid to move the right-handed hitters off the plate.
Two. And a high fastball. Down he goes. So Washburn out of the first, gives up a hit, leaves a man. The Mariners coming on now against Daisuke Matsuzaka. No score. Matsuzaka, let's look at the lineups.
Okay, tonight's lineups have been brought to you by AT&T. If Ichiro, Vidro, Gann, Ibanez, Beltre, Broussard, Jojima, Lopez, and Betancourt is hitting ninth. A Rico scouting report on Matsuzaka. This will be the fourth time the Mariners have faced him. You can see he get his fastball up to 97 miles an hour. Pretty good two-seamer, throws all the pitches. Pitches backwards in the count a lot. And the defense behind him tonight. Ramirez, Crispin, Drew in the outfield. Lowell, Lugo, Pedroia, Euclid over at first base. Jason Varitek is behind the plate. And Daisuke Matsuzaka is on the mound. Look at the season numbers for him. 3.75 ERA, pretty good. 142 strikeouts and 144 innings pitched.
So Ichiro, who will get the day off tomorrow defensively, will be the designated hitter tomorrow. And Adam Jones will take his spot in center field. Is in center field tonight, but he will again lead off tomorrow as the DH. But here he is leading off against Daisuke. 1 for 8 against Matsuzaka here in the United States. And a high one hopper right to Pedroia. 1 pitch, 1 down. Jose Vidro, the hot bat in his last 6 starts, is hitting over 400. He's hitting 440. And strike is called with the knees. And at the knees again. Two pitches in exactly the same spot. The Tigers losing that game to the White Sox tonight. They are really stubbing their toe. They've lost 10 of their last 12 games now.
Pretty good ball club. I think they've got another run in them where they're going to win a bunch of games too. There's a lot of games left, over 50 ball games for the guys to play, so I think they have another run in them.
And that slider's inside, so after quickly getting 2 strikes, he's gone full. And a shot again. Best average on the club against Daisuke on deck. And he went around, tried to hold up, and he couldn't do it.
We'll take a look at it. It's going to be a high fastball. Play ball 4 as they couldn't hold up on it.
So here is Guillen now as you see Miguel disgusted with himself walk away. Guillen 4 for 8. A little inside. Matsuzaka got that little wiggle to him before he comes to the plate. Little balancing act out there on the hill. See the Mariners in a virtual tie with the Tigers in a wild card spot. A lot of baseball to be played. .95-mile-an-hour fastball in on his hands.
We talked about the wiggle with Daisuke that he does. I can't think of one of the Japanese pitchers that's come over and pitched here that hasn't had something that's a little unique to what we're used to seeing.
Yeah, a lot of them have that hesitation in the knee, in the leg kick before they come to the plate. And one thing that they have proved is that they can play Major League Baseball.
Went from a situation where a few clubs were over there scouting the different leagues that they have, and now everybody's over in Japan looking at their players.
On the outside corner, strike 3 called again. He's disgusted as he throws the bat away, and a 1-2-3 Mariner try in the bottom half of the first. So we go to the second. Lowell, Veritek, and J.D. Drew when we come back. No score. Lowell, the leadoff man here in the second inning for the Boston Red Sox, to be followed by Jason Varitek and then J.D. Drew. No score. Jared Washburn threw 19 pitches in the first inning and Daisuke only a dozen. Lowell takes high ball one. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Washburn hasn't beaten the Red Sox since July of 2004. And an easy can of corn. Lopez, no problem. Former #1 Mariner draft choice out of Georgia Tech, the captain of the Red Sox, Jason Varitek, the switch hitter. The hitter now. Varitek fan, way out there, center field. Slow curve again. And Guillen over toward the line has got the range. 2 down. Well, friends, it's finally here, the final bobblehead in the 4 bobble set that has featured Ichiro, Felix, Kenji, and now Raul. Raul Ibanez bobblehead night, presented by UW Medicine, is set for Friday, August the 17th against the White Sox. The first 25,000 fans that night taking a collectible Raul bobble home. For tickets, head to mariners.com/bobble. J.D. Drew taking down low and outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. And a nice big easy 2-hopper for Broussard to carry it to the bag in a very easy second inning here for Jared Washburn, as he ends up throwing only 7 pitches. We go to the bottom of the second, no score. Go down to Petco Park in San Diego. Clay Hensley of the San Diego Padres is on the mound, and this just happened. Barry Bonds has just tied Henry Aaron at 755. That opposite field home run into the left field seats down there with the commissioner in attendance. So this indeed a historic day, as Henry Aaron is caught at 755. A-Rod has hit his 500th to become the youngest to ever do that. And It all happened on the same night. And Tom Glavine goes tomorrow for his 300th victory. Raul Ibanez steps in and leads it off here in the second. And takes a strike. What do you think?
I think he's going to take tomorrow off. That's what I think. I think he's taking tomorrow off. He's going to try to break it in San Francisco.
Well, what if he breaks it tonight?
Well, he might.
It's only, what, the second inning down there? First or second inning?
Second inning. He hit that in the second inning of the ball game tonight.
Great pitch right on the outside corner to Raul Ibanez. Struck him out. So that's 3 in a row.
His pitch is up and away. Barricades glove. Nice pitch.
And Adrian Beltre will be the hitter.
Think Barry will stick around long enough to get 800?
He might. I don't think it will be in the National League.
No, I don't think so either.
Says he wants to play a couple more years. Wouldn't surprise me to see him end up over in Oakland.
Well, we talked about it a couple of different times.
And that ball hit to right center field and deep back on the ball is Chris to the track, the wall, fly away! Adrian Beltre with number 17 as he goes out there in deep right center field to give the Mariners the early 1-0 lead. That's one thing Daisuke does. He gives up long balls. That's his 16th home run of the year he has given up. So Adrian Beltre has the Mariners on the board.
Well, he can throw a four-seam fastball. It's pretty straight. And you can see this one. Adrian just kills it. It's right in the middle of the plate, belt high, and it's hammered into right center field. That four-seamer goes a long ways if you can get on top of it like Adrian. That ball's up in the zone and just crushed it.
And this is Broussard now taking the breaking ball down low, ball 1. Another look at it. Chris runs out of room. And a slider that time at the knees. 1-1. Guesstimating that at 410 feet. And that ball is hit into the gap in right center field, and flying over is J.D. Drew to make the catch. So 2 away. Here's a man who had a big home run last night, Benji Jojo.
Off of Mike Timlin. Two-seamer. He tried to run in on him, and he hit it out of the ballpark.
Gave the Mariners some breathing room. A 3-run lead of 7-4, and that's the way it stayed. Thanks to, again, some great bullpen work. This is last night. He turns on it. Takes it right out over the hand-operated scoreboard out there in left field. And Mike Lowell will throw him out, but the Mariners are on the board here thanks to Adrian Beltre's 17th home run of the year. A 410-foot blast. It's 1-0 Mariners. Adrian Beltre has the Mariners on the board with his 17th home run of the year. Time now for our Aflac trivia question, which is the Mariners have a 9-game winning streak against Boston here. Going back to last year, can you name the Mariners' longest win streak versus an opponent at home? I'm assuming in 30 years, 30 and a half years. This has got to be coming pretty close, doesn't it?
I was going to say, do you know the answer?
No, I don't have any idea about the answer. I'm thinking in terms of the Tampa Bay or Kansas City or maybe Baltimore. It seems to me like the Mariners ran a few off against the Baltimore Orioles.
9 games is a lot. I'm going to go with the Red Sox. I think this is it.
1 strike on Coco Crisp. 1-1.
Crisp has done well against Jared. He's 10 for 18 for a .556 average and 1 home run.
Adrian has the easy play. Where was that play he rolled over and just missed getting? Was that in Texas? Toronto. In Toronto. Had he made that play, that would have been the greatest play a third baseman has ever made, I think. The one where he rolled over.
And yeah, and the umpire missed the call. I thought he had him.
Just unbelievable. That play haunts me because he was called safe.
Well, I'll tell you this. I can't think of too many guys that would have the ability to make the play that he made on that ball. I mean, first of all, he has good range and pretty good first step, but his arm and the way he threw the ball, it was unbelievable and how accurate. I don't see too many guys that could even make it.
Rollover was falling down again when he made the throw. Two and one on Julio Lugo. It's time to pass the gold torch to Adrian Beltre.
I think so. I don't think there's any question that he certainly. I mean, we've had an opportunity to watch him every day this year, and I can't believe there's somebody out there that's played a better third base than he has.
Coming back and out of play.
Chavez, of course, had a stranglehold on the Gold Glove award. He's been hurt so much. Adrian's having a year offensively now that he's been hot over the last month. Sometimes that makes a difference too. And starting to hit his home runs and drive in runs for him.
Line drive, and it's smothered by Lopez, who throws the first. And Broussard can't come up with it on the low bounce. But what a play by Lopez. That'll be a base hit for Julio Lugo.
Ball's hit pretty hard, and you can see Jose dives and picks it on a short hop. Nice play. Hurries his throw. He knows Lugo runs well, but he had a little bit more time. I think Ben picks that ball more times than not. Kind of catches it on the heel of his glove, and that's why it popped out.
So 1 on, 1 out. Pedroia fouled out to Beltre and takes the breaking ball inside, ball 1. Pedroia puts a charge into 1 down the line and foul. Boy, very aggressive.
You can see when he gets in the batter's box, he's almost right on top of the plate. Feet almost, it's like touching the white line. It's right next to home plate. He gets right next to it. Stands upright, and Jared, there you go. See how close he is. Then he kind of leans out over the plate. Jared throwing, he's going to come back in there with another cutter, it looks like. Beats him with it that time.
like Joe DiMaggio on that side.
I bet he'll take it.
Yeah. 1-2 pitch is a one-hopper, and 1-2. Inning over. The double play. 6, 4, 3, and that will be that. We go to the bottom of the third. 1-0. Mariners on top of Boston.
Field and see a shot of the people out at the lake today playing in the sand. Look at that little guy. Get the answer here for our trivia question today. Can you name the Mariners' longest win streak versus any opponent at home? And our answer, thanks Clyde, 15 games versus Baltimore. That's an awful lot. I really thought it was going to be Boston at 9, possibly 10 after today, but 15 games, that's...
Well, I got a little bit lucky on that one, but that was back in 99 to 2000, a span of a year and a half. 15 games. 0-1 the count on Jose Lopez. And got him. Hit him in the back. Off-speed pitch at that.
Well, while we were at the break, they showed the home run from Bonds, and we saw the reaction here at the ballpark. What'd you think?
Interesting reaction. I think the boos drowned out the applause, to tell you the truth. It was mixed, but I think there were more boos than cheers.
I would agree with that. I was actually surprised at the amount of cheers there were. And I was looking around the stands to my right and left and looking up. There's a lot of people clapping. Clearly, though, the boos was drowning them out for sure.
So with Lopez aboard with the hit by pitch, here's Yuniesky Betancourt, the hero last night, and he has another base hit here tonight to start it off. He's been unbelievable.
Been very good. Had a nice homestand. He's also played a nice shortstop. You can see this base hit off the end of the bat. Just kind of flips it into right field. Got a little something going here.
Tied a career high last night with 4 RBIs, did Uni. And Ichiro will be the hitter. And Mike Lowell, the third baseman, is going to play in on the grass. Expecting a bunt here. One and 0.
Well, most of the time in this situation, Lowell's way up, and you want to bunt it hard to third. You're going to advance the runners to bring him in, so it opens up third base for Lopez. But where Euclid is playing right now, he's playing behind the bag at first. If he decides to drag one, he has no chance, I don't think, to make a play over at third. And Ichiro might even be able to beat it out.
2-0. Mariners 6-2 on this 10-game homestand with one more game to go tomorrow. They will leave after tomorrow and fly to Baltimore. They'll spend the off day on Monday in Baltimore, then open up the 3-game series against the Orioles Tuesday night at Camden Yards. Pretty much of a free swing there, and he took advantage of it.
We've seen it before with him. He'll change speeds, especially when he's behind in the count. Ichiro taking a shot again on probably a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. And certainly didn't get it there. You know, the good news with the Baltimore trip is we're not going to see Bedard.
Right.
I know the Mariners have been good against the left-handers, but he's awfully tough.
And high and away, ball 3-1. Mariners will see Traxel, Jeremy Guthrie, who was tough on them here, and then the big, tall, hard-throwing right-hander Daniel Cabrera. They will counter with Weaver, Felix, and Horacio. Down the middle. Sellout here tonight. Sellout last night. 46,000 plus. Will be the same tonight. Just putting his bat on the ball, staying alive.
You can see because Daisuke will mix it up. He doesn't really care what the count is. He's going to throw his pitches. Ichiro indecisive on what he wants to do after a couple of fastballs on 3-2 counts. Normally he'd be able to put that in play, but he's having to stay back a little bit longer. And that last fastball, 95 miles an hour. Until he's aware of the breaking ball and his changeup, split.
And a ground ball up the first baseline again, foul.
And that time he went with a two-seamer, 91 miles an hour. This will be the 9th pitch of this at bat.
There are your runners with Beckett at first, Lopez at second. A 1-0 Mariner lead on the Beltre home run last inning. And again fouled away. Just making him work. The Dodge pitch count, 35 pitches. He's thrown a dozen here in the third inning, I should say. And a fastball hit toward the hole. Right there going to third base. Hit first slide and out is Lopez. Lugo to Lowell for the force out at third. So 2 outs. I beg your pardon, 1 out, and Jose Vidro will be the hitter. That's going to be back into the stands down the left field line. Don't forget now that the bridges are going to be closed tomorrow, beginning at 12:45 until about 2:45. So get out to the ballpark early tomorrow. And that's out of play. Also tomorrow you're going to have one of the great shows, I think, in baseball. The long haul bombers are going to be here.
I love watching those guys.
Watch those guys. Softball hitters. Man, they hit them a ton.
Well, they'll hit them up in the upper deck regularly. I want to see if one of them can hit it over the black monster tomorrow. So if you get here early, there'll be some entertainment. And they just crush it. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, that'll start around 12:30. One and two, and the Blue Angels themselves will be doing their thing here around 2:30 or so over Safeco Field. Game time is at 1:10 tomorrow. Miguel Batista for the Mariners. Josh Beckett for Boston. High chopper. Might be a base hit. You have to hurry and throw to first. It's not in time. So Pedro right off the plate, right up in the air, and the Mariners have the bases loaded.
Watch how high this ball takes forever to come down, and he does everything he can, but high as that ball was hit, there's nothing you can do defensively. Pedro running hard the whole way. He smells a base hit out of this. He's able to beat it out.
So Jose Guillen with the chance to do the damage now. Been a while since he had a grand slam home run 5 years ago, when he was with the Cincinnati Reds against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Struck out looking in the first. On one.
One of the things we talked about is just the Mariners' fourth opportunity to face Daisuke, and one of the things I've noticed is he rarely slows things down when he gets into the stretch. He gets pretty deliberate out on the mound. Works much faster out of the windup.
Challenged him with a fastball.
Goes Tracer at the top of the strike zone, 95 miles an hour.
And again, high octane stuff right in on his hands, and he strikes him out for the second time. First time looking, this time swinging with his sacks full.
We saw the pitch before at the top of the strike zone. He goes a little bit higher here. Jose just not able to catch up to it.
Raul Ibanez. Last time he ate a salami was against the Boston Red Sox last year. Out of play. There are your runners. Betancourt, Ichiro, and Vidro. In the dirt. And the Angels have lost. The Indians have lost. The Tigers have lost. So far, everything has gone the Mariners' way today. The Yankees have won big again against Kansas City. Lowell hits a fly ball to left field, not going anywhere. Ramirez is there, and he's out of it. Bases loaded with one down, and the Mariners could not get a run. So as we go to the fourth, it's still the Mariners 1, the Red Sox nothing.
Open in the third. They leave three stranded, 1-0 as we take a look at some of tonight's contestants for your rally fries. Dave Sims joining in with Mike Blowers on a real nice night here in Seattle. Game 2 of this series. Mariners with a 1-0 lead.
Pretty good pitching matchup.
Yes, it is. It's pretty impressive the way Washburn, he's working quickly, and he struggled his last few outings. And Daisuke got out of a jam last time.
Well, we've seen him do that before. This is the fourth time the Mariners have seen him, and he's gotten out of a few jams with them. Eventually, though, if you keep putting pressure on him, hopefully they can break through with something. Talking about a quality pitcher, and the good news is Jared's been better than that. Jared's been very good today.
Euclid, Ortiz, and Ramirez here in the Boston fourth. Good crowd. Looks like it's going to be the 8th sellout here. Get the official numbers for you later on in the game, but you can hear the Red Sox fans and the Mariner fans trying to shout him down. Euclid goes center field. Ichiro's got it covered. 1 out. Euclid had a base hit to center. He had 2 base hits to center yesterday. Mojo, it's rising here at Safeco Field. Now's the time to put down a deposit on the 2008 season ticket. By doing so, you're going to lock in a great seat for next year. Plus, you're guaranteed a seat here for Safeco Field for all potential postseason games this season. Head to Mariners.com today for more information or to make a deposit now and get in on the mojo. Big Poppy takes a strike. He struck out on a 1-2 pitch from Washburn his first time up. American League on base percentage leader, 3rd in slugging. Homered last night.
His first time up, Jared went after him with breaking balls and cutters away, and then finally put him away with a pitch. It looked like a 2-seamer inside and punched him out.
Down low. Ortiz 4 for 15 career against Washburn. Mariners lead 1-0 on a Beltre home run, his 17th. That ties him with Richie Sexton for the club lead, and he takes over the RBI lead with 64. Popped up, and that's going to get out of play. Got to stay inside on him. Here's a 2-2. The other way. Raul's got a long way as it slices in front of him, and then he bobbles, and Big Papi's going to take an extra base, and he's in safely. Single E7. Raul's 6th error of the year.
On the homestand, we've seen him make so many good plays going to his right. You can see this ball hits him on the heel. Ortiz no problem getting into second base.
One out here in the 4th, and that'll bring up Manny Ramirez. Roll back in the lineup, sat with yesterday, as we got to see the 07 debut of Adam Jones. Ramirez struck out in a 2-2 pitch to end the first inning. Up high, ball 1. Manny 6 for 20 with a long ball against Washburn. Manny with 24 runs batted in since the All-Star break. Second only to Bobby Abreu's 25 with the Yankees. Washburn now behind 2-0. Pitch number 5-0 coming up right here to Manny. Missed away. 3-0. On deck hitters Mike Lowell.
And you see him being careful. Manny, 316 career off of Jared with a home run, but the main thing is he absolutely murders left-handers, and Jared's certainly aware of that. First base open.
You don't have to, don't.
Well, he's going to try to make him. I think he wants him to swing the bat. I just think he wants him to hit his pitch. If he doesn't want to do it, then he'll just put him on like he did.
First walk tonight. Washburn has 2 strikeouts. He's got 1 out. Mike Lowell will stand in. Mike leads the Sox in RBIs at 74. The attendance figure a little bit early tonight. 46,313, and it is a raucous house. It's the 8th sellout. Curveball in there to Mike Lowell, strike 1.
There's a good command of his breaking ball today. He's been able to get up ahead of a couple of hitters with that. Able to throw it for a strike.
Quick working as ever. Washburn ready. Way outside. That one slipped out of his hand.
Yeah, I think it did. Just that.
Mike Lowell, a .315 hitter against left-handed pitching. 1-1. Runners at first and second. Mariners will turn 1 double play. Another one would work real well here. Popped it up below us. 1-2. Manny more of a quiet one. David Ortiz, he is a people person. Second base. Here's Big Papi. Here's the 1-2 to Lowell, down low. Had a good conversation with Lowell last time in. Did real well on his college boards. Got his college degree. Thinks he's going to try to stay in baseball when his career is done. 2-2. Red Sox fans bringing that decided East Coast buzz to a ball game. They will They're going to make some noise, and they don't have to be prompted. It's unbelievable. Team with the best record in baseball. Washburn's got some work here. 2-2 to Mike Lowell. 2 on, 1 out. Good pitch. Fouled away. Jason Varitek's on deck for the Red Sox. Washburn's last 3 games against the Boston Red Sox, a couple no decisions and a loss. He hasn't beaten them since July 15 of 04. 7 innings, 3 hit, 1-run ball when he was with the Angels. 2-2. Tried to buy a high strike and just missed.
He's hoping to get Lowell to swing at that pitch, maybe pop it up. Too far inside.
Mike 3 for his last 19 entering tonight's game. Here's a big pitch in this ball game. 1-0 Mariners, top 4. 2 on. Popped out of play. 8 pitches in this at bat. Jared struck out 2, walked 1. Daisuke Matsuzaka struck out 4. He's hit a batter, giving up a home run.
Dave, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but Manny pretty much seems to kind of be on his own program out there.
Oh,
he was
absolutely.
just doing some kind of dance, and I don't know why, because Ben was nowhere near him, but he was faking back to first and doing all kinds of stuff.
Well, who could forget when he cut off a throw from the outfield and he was in short left field a few years ago? I think David Ortiz said that's Manny being Manny. Isn't it a different world? 3-2 pitch. Popped up, it's playable. Uni. 2 down. Well, you're talking about Manny. Manny's going to have some fun now. I had a friend of mine who was here yesterday. He was flipping out because Manny had the dreadlocks. He had the skull cap on. He had his left pocket out. I said, so what? He's going to the Hall of Fame. What do you care? It's going to be 300, 100 plus ribbies, and 40 home runs. Give me a break.
Yeah, he's 12 homers away from 500 for his career.
He can dress anywhere, any way he wants if he's playing for you with that production.
And he does.
Correct.
I'll tell you what, though, I haven't heard anybody out of his own clubhouse complain about it at all. They seem to enjoy him and take him for what he is, which is a great player. And they actually talk about how hard he works at hitting. It's no accident. He's not just an extremely talented guy. He also works hard at it. But he's fun to watch.
Inside the Varitek, and our outstanding director Mark Engelbert just made a good point. He's going to be the first Hall of Famer with dreadlocks. What did you say?
He just makes me laugh. He just makes me laugh. I mean, watch him out there at first base.
It's unbelievable.
Ben playing his own game.
Well said.
Laughing.
Running in place. I think he's doing a monologue for Ben. We got to talk to Ben and find out what that was all about. Manny will be appearing at Chuckles next week here in Seattle.
Don't be surprised if Ben looks at him and goes, I have no idea.
Breaking ball misses. Meanwhile, down in San Diego, Barry Bonds seconds ago walks again. He's tied Mr. Aaron at 7.55. Did it against Clay Hensley.
Was that 4th inning right there, it looked like?
They're in the 3rd right now. Top 4 right now. Well, that was met with some hearty boos when they put it on the big screen here.
I was telling Dave, I was actually surprised at the amount of people that were clapping. I mean, I know the boos drowned them out, but there's quite a few people in here that were clapping. I also told Dave I think he's certainly going to take tomorrow's game off.
I don't blame him.
No, I don't either. Jared's done a nice job getting back in count. Throwing some slow breaking balls up to Veritek to get the count 3-2.
Well, if Daisuke can get out of a bases loaded jam top in the bottom of the third, here in the top of the fourth, let's see if Washburn can get out.
Reynolds will take off here.
Hit well into the corner. Fair ball. Ortiz scores. Manny being waved around, touching third. Uni's throw to the plate. Not in time. A 2-run double for Jason Veritek. And the Red Sox take a 2-1 lead. Veritek RBI 46 and 47. His 11th double.
Take a look at the relay. Here comes Beckett. He's going to try to one-hop it into home plate. You can see it's wide of home by the time Kenji tries to go back. Manny's in there. Watch how hard he's running around third. Did a good job by the third base coach.
Marlo Hale waved him all the way.
Well, did you see the excitement? I mean, he was telling him, you really have to go. We're going to take a chance here. It wasn't a normal go ahead and go. And Manny certainly picked up on that because he looked like he was running about as hard as he could run. Can't catch his breath now. But Jared right there, he tried to beat Veritek inside with his cutter after throwing him some slow breaking balls. And take a look at how close this play is.
That throw was up the line.
It's on the plate, they get him.
Absolutely. Just like Jones's throw last night was there in time, but it was off the plate, up the line a bit. Here's J.D. Drew. Takes a strike. And they waved Manny all the way in from first base. 2 outs. And it just beats the tag. 2-1 Red Sox.
There's another example why you go 3-2 with 2 outs. That runner at first base is getting a head start. He's taking off right away. So he's really not scoring from first. He's scoring from about halfway to second, actually.
0-2 to J.D. Drew. Bounced out to Broussard his first time up. One and 2. Mariners home fourth. Beltre, Broussard, Jojima 5, 6, and 7. Beltre's got the lone Mariner run, a home run. His 17th. It came back in the second inning. Here's the 1-2. Come inside to Drew. 2-2. Washburn 71st pitch. We're in the fourth. Swing and a miss. He got him. Third strikeout by Washburn. A little damage done by the Red Sox. A 2-run double by Veritek, and Boston leads it on the count of 2-1. Washington today on a gorgeous day here in Seattle. Seafair week. And hey, the Twins, they come to Safeco Field beginning Monday, August 13th, midweek series. Wednesday the 15th is a U.S. Bank Mariners matinee. 1:35 start is also MasterCard Grand Slam Family Pack Day, and you can pick up 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 Pepsi drinks for as little as $50. Spend the afternoon at the ballpark, everybody, on August 15th. Head to Mariners.com this weekend for tickets. Adrian Beltre is going to lead it off here in the home fourth. Ben Broussard and Kenji Jojima. Mariners with 3 hits off of Daisuke Matsuzaka. The home run by Beltre in the second. Betancourt and Vidro. A couple singles in the third. That's it. Beltre, the club leader in slugging. This one hit a long way left field. Does it have enough distance? Manny's right there, and he's got it. But too much hang time on that one for Beltre. 1 out here in the fourth. Last time the Red Sox were here, Manny had an opportunity to catch a drive off the fence. Didn't do it. And the Mariners wind up getting a walk-off double to close out that series with a sweep. Here's Ben Broussard. Lined out hard to J.D. Drew in his first at bat. Ben with good numbers as a part-time player. Sharp breaking ball in there for strike 1-1. What do you think Mac's going to do here? You've got Richie 2 for his last 25. Didn't swing the bat well yesterday. And Broussard, I think this will be a platoon thing we'll see for a while as he slices one man. He's not going to get that one. Fair ball. Then makes a good hard turn. He's going to get 2 easily. And he digs it out, flips it back in. So Broussard with his 5th double of the season. 4th base hit. So the Mariners have a 1-out base runner here in the 4th inning. How about another guy making some home run news? Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Alex Rodriguez goes boom. Home run number 36. Moreover, it is home run number 500 for his career. He's the youngest to reach that vaunted number. And that gives him 107 RBI. It's our Quest Spirit of Service. 328 days younger than Jimmy XX Fox. Hall of Famer, finished 534 home runs. Inside to Kenji Jojima. The Broussard with a 1-out double. Mac was reluctant to call it a platoon. You think he's going to do that now, lefties and righties?
I think what he's going to do is he's going to try to do what he has to get Richie going and get him right. And we talked about the numbers and him struggling. I think eventually he'd like to get him back in the lineup daily, but right now I think he's going to get him in a situation where hopefully they can get him going again. I think that's why he's reluctant to say that or doesn't want to talk about that, because I'm not sure that is totally true. And I think that, for the time being that might be the case, but if Richie starts swinging the bat well again, I think he'll start playing again. And I think that's what Mac is trying to do. He's trying to get him in a situation where get his confidence back to where he can swing the bat the way he's capable of.
Look out.
Because if he does, he can certainly help his ball club. Everybody knows that. I think everybody down there wants that to happen, and that's what they're trying to figure out. What's the best way to do that? And I'm not sure that they know right now.
So Mac talking to Richie during some BP today. He's been trying to pick his spirits up. He had a tough night last night, but hopefully he'll break out of it with opportunities coming up in the next few days. 1-out runner at second. 2-1 pitch to Kenji. In there for strike. Jojima with a huge 2-run homer last night.
It might also be a situation where, a platoon is a lefty-righty thing. That's why you call it that. But if it's a situation where Richie's had success against a certain right-handed pitcher that comes up in the next week, don't be surprised to see him in there playing on those days.
2-2. Red Sox by 1, 2-1. Little tapper. Lugo's got no play. Base hit. First and third for the Mariners.
Well, you're not going to see Kenji get too many infield hits. He'll certainly take it, though. Key to it all is it was bounced just high enough to where it got past Matsuzaka on the mound. And Lugo, I thought maybe had a play, but he decided not to. He decided to eat it and take another look at it. Kind of sits back on it. Doesn't charge it very hard.
The one out runners at the corners, and Jose Lopez will swing the bat. Lopez hit by a pitch back in the third. 10th time Daisuke's hit a batter.
Yeah, he hit him with a breaking ball.
Strike one on Jose. Jose just 4 hits on the homestand. How about Kenji? That was his 6th infield hit.
That's a lot for him.
Got that. I was thinking along the lines of 2 or 3.
Yeah,
6. Vidro's got 16. 0-1 pitch. 1-2. And Broussard talking to third base coach Carlos Garcia. 2-1 Boston. Veritek with a 2-run, 2-out double in the 4th. This after Beltre's solo home run in the 2nd gave the Mariners the lead. 0-2 to Lopez.
Red Sox are playing back. They're going to go for the double play here.
On deck is Daisuke Beckett. He's swinging a hot bat. Base hit to right field in the 3rd. 3-run homer last night. Drove in 4. Got 12 hits on the homestand. Came inside in the hole. Lowell to Pedroia. They get the double play. Inning over. The Mariners got a couple on. Got nothing to show for it. Through 4. It's 2-1 Boston. Now we want to take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. Finish up with the Red Sox. Day off Monday. Then we see the Baltimore Orioles for 3, and then the Chicago White Sox Friday, Saturday, and of course next Sunday before returning home. Josh Beckett against Miguel Batista. Beckett has been strong, 13-5, and Batista turning out to be a very, very dependable pitcher for the Mariners. 11-7. Coco Crisp. Then tried to let that stay fair. Get a quick out. It goes foul. It'll be Coco Crisp, Julio Lugo, and Dustin Pedroia here in the 5th. Coco Crisp, pretty hot since mid-June. 366 clip. Rounded out the Beltre his first time up. In there for strike.
Mariners have had some opportunities the last couple innings and haven't been able to cash them in. One of those situations, runner on third, less than 2 outs. You'd like to see them get them in. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way, and they're putting pressure on Daisuke, which is the good news. But eventually, they're going to have to bust it open a little bit, take advantage of some of those situations.
Jared Washburn got to get the first out. And sent to center field, a no-brainer for Ichiro. 1 down. The 1 out here in the Red Sox 5th. That'll bring up Julio Lugo. Their shortstop is a guy you want to keep off the base paths. He's outstanding with 26 stolen bases in 29 attempts. Down low to Lugo. Jared Washburn, his last 3 times out, recorded no decisions. Lost it against Detroit on the 13th of July. His last win was at Kansas City on July 4th. Yanked foul. And joining us right now, our colleague Bill Kruger. Bill, good to have you with us. Good to see you.
Well, it's fun to be up here.
Nice color coordination too. Well done.
Yeah, we're not no Bobsy trio here. That's good.
Well, you've got a very worthy cause that you want to talk about. We want to give you plenty of opportunity to explain to folks and get them involved in what you're working with.
Well, we're going to have an event. Obviously, my central involvement in the community is all about autism research and so forth, finding a cure, finding support, and we're going to have a day. The 14th, which will be the following Tuesday, against the Twins. We're going to have an autism awareness night here, so there's opportunity for people to come out, purchase tickets. Majority of that proceeds will go to Cure Autism Now to find a cure, and it also involves Athletes Against Autism, which is a new group that was started about 3 years ago by 3 NHL players, Ole Kolzig, Scott Mellenbig, and Brian Defoe, and they had this dream of doing something that's community driven. They all have boys with autism, and it's just caught on nationwide. We have a couple hundred athletes from all different professional sports. Had a big golf tournament, raised about $400,000 down in Southern California this year, so it's a growing entity.
Ben Broussard took charge on that play as Washburn was going to make a bid, and so did Beltre. And autism has touched your family as well, correct?
Yeah. My daughter Chanel is autistic. She's been one of those real remarkable recovery kids. That doesn't happen very often. She's got a chance to go to college and have an independent life, but most kids, majority of them will never have an independent life. Half of them will never talk, and they're going to live a full life. So it's a real challenge for families.
If you could, as we watch Washburn go against Pedroia, top of the order for the Red Sox, explain the definition of autism.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a neurobiological disorder that normally strikes children before the age of 3. And it comes in a very wide variety of outcomes. Majority kids have speech delay. They have fixations on objects, and their sensory systems don't work like ours do, and so they become a real challenge. Mostly because the research is so cutting edge, and families are pretty overwhelmed when they have an autistic child, not knowing what to do. And Cure Autism Now has kind of come to the forefront to find cures and work with families, and it's the fastest growing disorder in the United States today, so it's a big deal.
Well, Bill, whatever we can do to help you out, we appreciate your efforts. We applaud your efforts, and all the best, and God bless everybody.
Hey, thanks a lot. Thanks.
Take a break. Come back. It's a 2-1 Boston lead over the Mariners as we move to the home 5th. We'll see 9-1-2 Betancourt, Ichiro, and Vidro coming up. continues. We'll see a lot of action tomorrow. The Blue Angels in this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Dave Simpson, Mike Blowers, and the FSN crew on hand here. Junieski Betancourt leads off in the 5th against Daisuke Matsusaka. Uni with a base hit back in the 3rd was eventually stranded at 3rd base. The Mariners have left 4 men on the last couple of innings. Daisuke has had some good pop on his fastball. He's been in the mid-90s since first pitch.
Well, he's done a nice job of mixing up those pitches. A lot of breaking balls early in counts, and you start to sit on that, he's starting to throw fastballs up there 94, 95 miles an hour. That last one 93. See if Betancourt can get something going. He's been hot. He's had a nice home stand, swinging the bat. Wells already had a hit in tonight's ball game. Take a look at the home run from last night.
Doing a good job. He's throwing his hands at it, getting the barrel out. And this was one, as you mentioned last night, got his hands to a point where he couldn't hook it. Got it right down the line.
He's swinging well. There's no question about it.
Popped up right over our heads.
Has his average up to 290 again. Starting to drive the base. But it's been a while. He had a little drought there where it's been a while since he'd hit a home run. So that's good to see. He's really played a nice shortstop on the homestand too. Really helped out his pitchers. 2 pretty good clubs defensively. Red Sox are 2nd. Fielding percentage. The Mariners are 4th in the American League.
Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball got him. 5th strikeout by Daisuke. The second one he's got looking. That pitch froze Betancourt. 1 out here in the 5th. Here's Ichiro. Ichiro tonight's grounded out. The second reached on a fielder's choice. 1 for 10 this season against Matsusaka. During their head-to-head battles over in Japan, he went 8 for 34 with 1 home run. Big gap in right center field between Crisp and J.D. Drew. This is outside, 1-1. Ichiro needs a base hit to stay ahead of Maglio Ordonez. Mags has come down. Mags was up around 370. Ichiro was up around 360 as they battled for the last month or so. Here's the 0-2. Pulls it, but foul. They are documenting every breath these 2 guys take. Japanese media. Flashbulbs popping all over when Ichiro got into the batter's box in the 1st inning. Remember what we saw when we were in Boston? Their first confrontation here on these shores.
Looking at those cameras on both of them. Tomorrow morning in Japan, they'll go pitch by pitch and where he fouled balls off, the whole bit.
Barry Bonds down in San Diego, 5th inning, and another walk. Second inning, Bonds hit a home run off of Clay Hensley. Number 755 to tie Hank Aaron. Matsusaka against Ichiro, and Ichiro has for time. Two to 1 Red Sox. The Veritek 2-run double the difference right now. Comebacker. They had Ichiro bailing. 2 outs. Earlier tonight, San Diego Barry Bonds has hit more home runs against the San Diego Padres than any other team, and the trend continued tonight as he goes opposite field. And he hit a drive into the bleachers as we look at our Geico highlights. As Bonds ties Henry Aaron for the all-time home run lead in Major League Baseball, 755 career round trippers. Here's Vidro. Fouls first pitch off. Jose struck out on a 3-2 pitch in the first. Got an infield hit in the third. And Commissioner Selig, by the way, was in San Diego to witness the event. I don't know if they're going to have any kind of ceremony or anything. I'll probably have it when Bonds breaks the record. 0-1 to Vidro in there for strike.
I wouldn't think they would have one from tying it.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. They'll have one. He breaks it tonight or tomorrow. Jose Guillen on deck if Vidro can keep it going here. Only run tonight for the Mariners, a Beltre home run in the second. Adrian 17th takes over the team RBI lead with 64, and Guillen, he's in second place with 63 runs knocked in. One-two pitch. Bud Selig, when Bonds hit the home run, he stood, didn't clap, but he did have sort of a half smile on his face. 2-2 with 2 outs to Vidro. Full count to Jose now. Jose's been productive on this homestand. He's got 12 hits. Batting average at .309. Protecting, fouls it away. Matsuzaka struck out 5. He's done some work against the top 4 hitters in the lineup. He struck out Vidro once, Guillen twice, Ibanez once, and Betancourt, the 9-hole hitters, struck him out. Hasn't walked anybody. Given up just 5 hits. Vidro draws a walk. So a 2-out base runner for the Mariners. Bring him Jose Guillen.
See if Matsuzaka changes things up. He's been throwing fastballs, high fastballs by Guillen. I believe Jose's going to cheat a little bit, see if he can get on top of one, especially with 2 outs. See if he changes up on him. Looks like he wants something off speed.
Ball 1 to Jose. Jose struck out looking in the first, swinging in the third. Matsuzaka got him on an 0-2 pitch last time. Breaking ball catches the inside corner. One and one. Coming up on pitch number 79. High. How'd you find the language barrier when you played over in Japan as you look at Ibanez on deck? How big a factor was it?
Not much for me because I had an interpreter that was with me all over the place. So
nice.
Yeah, so it wasn't a problem. can't think of anything that happened on the field that was going on the field. Obviously, my interpreter's not out there, but I can't think of anything where it was something that was confusing at any point.
Like I got it and that kind of stuff?
No,
you were good there?
Yeah, that and just, you know, even moving me around. I mean, there's so many things that happen in baseball that just gestures and things that you do, you can get it without actually understanding what they're telling you. I don't ever remember that being an issue at all.
Having trouble with our Fox box. It's a 2-2 count. 2 outs to Guillen. Runner at first. Breaking ball misses. And now full count. 3-2 to Guillen. 2 down here in the 5th with Ibanez on deck.
3-2 count, 2 outs. We saw Manny score from first base. See if Jose can find a gap somewhere. And Pedro run a little bit. They take off with the pitch.
Daisuke delivered. Ready to go. The 3-2 pitch. Runner goes. Swung on and missed. Struck him out. 6th strikeout tonight for Daisuke, the 3rd time. He's racked him with Guillen. Nothing across. It's 2-1 Boston. And you hear the "you" cheer for Kevin Youkilis. The Red Sox fans. 2-3-4 against Jared Washburn. Washburn struck out 3, walked 1. He's given up 4 hits. The big one, the 2-out, 2-run double by Veritek. Gets it to corner, 1-1. Washburn's 3-3 in 10 starts against the Red Sox over the course of his career. A 4.66 ERA. Came inside and missed. 2-1. Youkilis with a base hit to center and a fly out to center tonight. Fouled that one back. Kenji held on. Youkilis last night, 2 base hits to center. He went 2 for 4. 2-2. Strokes it to center field again. Long run. Ichiro not going to glove it. Gets it on the hop. Youkilis will ease into second with a double. His 27th of the season. And Youkilis starts off with 6 for Boston by getting on board.
He's pretty much hit everything up the middle the last couple of days. Second base hit tonight. This one a double in the gap. Mentioned a couple of hits last night up the middle. His first base hit up the middle tonight.
Yeah, everything's been straight away. Single to center, fly to center, double to left center. Brings up David Ortiz. Made a slicing drive to left field that Raul Ibanez bobbled in his haste to get it back in, so it was a single E7. Popped up. Beltre's going to take a look. 4 rows back. Jared Washburn, 32-year-old, with a 91 and 77 career record with an ERA of 4. This is 236th start. Euclid, the runner at second for David Ortiz. Down low, Manny Ramirez on deck.
He's consistently pitched Ortiz away. The base that he had last time up was over the left field towards the line. And hit it very hard, kind of off the end of the bat. Raul had to run over and try to cut it off, but kicked it around a little bit.
Check swing. Strike 2. Ortiz, a .282 hitter against lefty pitching. 2 home runs and 18 runs knocked in. Tough part of the order right here. 6th inning in a 1-run game. 1-2 to Ortiz. Hammered right field. Guillen short hop, didn't make the catch. Here's the throw to third. Airmailed it, and that's trouble. Run's going to score. A single. Ortiz takes second on the throw. Euclid scores E9. Second error tonight by the Mariners. 5th of the year by Guillen. And moving up to 3rd on the error is Ortiz. And that brings up Manny with a runner at 3rd, a run in, nobody out.
We'll bring Mariner infield in.
3-1 Boston. Fly ball, long run for Guillen towards the corner. It's out of play. We're in the 6th inning. Mariners jumped out to 1-0 lead in the 2nd. Boston took the lead in the 4th. Right now with nobody out and a runner on. Added a run. It's 3-1. Infield up for Manny Ramirez. Ortiz at 3rd. That's a gapper. Raul not going to touch it. Ortiz will ease home. Manny digging for 2. He's got an RBI double. It's 4-1 Boston. Manny's 26th double. RBI number 70.
Looks like a high fastball in the middle of the plate. Manny does a nice job of getting on top of it. No chance for Raul. This ball's in the gap. He gets out to the wall in a hurry.
First 2 hitters have scored. Another tough out in Mike Lowell as Ryan Roland Smith, the lefty, gets ready. Rafi Chavez is going to try to break some momentum, come out and talk to Washburn. So Washburn got that pitch up, and wow, Manny was all over it. Double Euclid. Ortiz a single. Error on the throw trying to get Euclid at 3rd. Airmailed by Guillen. And allows Euclid to score. Allows Ortiz to take 3rd. And then Manny on an 0-1 pitch doubles to the left center field gap. Here's Mike Lowell. 0 for 2 tonight. Popped out to Lopez. Popped out to Betancourt. Inside, ball one.
Well, that's been the mistake with Jared so far. A couple of pitches that have been in the middle of the plate. He's done a great job all game on the pitches. The cutter that he wants to throw inside to get it in there. And the last few have been out over the plate. See him make an adjustment. Go in off the plate to Lowell and pops him up with another one.
Long run, Raul. Long run, Beltre. Raul will get it as Washburn and Lopez do a nice job to cover third base to keep Manny at second. That's the first out here in the sixth, and up for bid right now. Mariners.com are 4 life-size bobbleheads made in the likeness of Ichiro, Kenji, Felix, and Raul. These are one-of-a-kind bobbleheads. They stand up to 6 feet tall and feature real bobbing heads, just like the ones given away this season right here at Safeco Field. Bidding closes this week, so head to Mariners.com/auctions this weekend to check them out. One out. Here's Veritek. 2-run double to left his last time up. 4-1 Boston. Veritek, captain for the Red Sox. Talk to the Red Sox people. Talk rave about how he does a great job handling this pitching staff. Jared Washburn trying to get out of further trouble here. Big spot, 0-1 to Veritek. That's set to center field. Ichiro has to retreat a long way back to the track. He makes the catch. 2 down. Manny goes back to tag, and he'll hold it right there. Nice catch by Ichiro. Does a nice job on balls where he has to turn and retreat to the track. 2 down here in the sixth.
See it right at the end. The thing that he does, and this gives you an idea how hard it was hit by Veritek, is he turned a couple times and put his head down to run to a spot to try to make up ground. And that's what he does well on that. Talking about the balls over his head. Did a good job with that.
There's J.D. Drew. Rounded out to Broussard at first and struck out. Breaking ball misses.
The Mariners, you get the feeling that they can't afford to give up too many more, even though it's a club that scores runs in the middle of the late ball games. They've come back in a number of games, but with the way that Matsuzaka's throwing tonight, it might be difficult.
2-0 as Washburn has reached pitch 100. 2 outs in the sixth, 2 runs in. To J.D. Drew. He's swinging, and that's a base hit to right. Guillen charges. He's coming up firing. They hold up Manny as he throws a bullet right to Kenji Jojima. DeMarlo Hale, knowing full well that Guillen really pretty ticked off at himself for airmailing that one throw to third, and why risk Manny getting gunned down? Keep the inning alive, first and third.
Well, a lot of times with 2 outs, you'll go ahead and take a chance. But Guillen, you can see him coming in hard on this ball and throws a strike into home. Manny would have been out by a long margin. I mean, he didn't even have to throw. You can see Manny running. But he wouldn't have even had to put it right on the plate. Anywhere in the area, he would have had time to make an adjustment. That's Kenji to make an adjustment and make the tag.
There's Coco Crisp. Been a long inning. Hit the unit. Gobbles it up, throws to Lopez for the fourth. Damage done. 2-run score. 4-1 Boston. Work to do for the Mariners in the home sixth. your chance to win a new red BlackBerry Pearl. Text in A, B, or C to 443 where you think the globe ends up. For official rules and alternate form of entry, please go to foxsports.com/Northwest. So glad to have you with us, everybody. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Safeco Field sold out for the 8th time. 46,313 on hand. Red Sox have just put 2 on the board. They lead it 4-1. Mariners just wrapped up an exciting series with the Angels, securing a 2-1 series victory in dramatic fashion Wednesday night. Yunieski's walk-off single set the stage for what is sure to be another incredible series later on this month when the Angels return beginning August 27th. Do yourself a favor. Do not miss this important series. Be here for the next chapter. Tickets available right now at mariners.com. Middle of the order for the Mariners, Ibanez, Beltre, Broussard here in the 6th. Raul 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out to left. Looks at ball 1. Daisuke Matsuzaka has given up just 1 run. The Beltre homer, 1 out in the 2nd. Giving up just 5 hits. Strike to Raul. 1-1. Mariners left the bases loaded in the 3rd. Stranded another runner in the 4th and in the 5th. Here's the 1-1. See if Raul can, see if he can begin a little bust out string for himself. I think that got him.
It did.
Second time Daisuke's hit a batter. He hit Lopez leading off the 3rd.
See where it hits him. It's bouncing him in the back shin. Like he's fine, no problem.
Brings up Beltre. Now the club RBI leader with 64, tied with Sexton with 17 homers. He went right center with the home run and he flied out to left.
He's seen a couple of fastballs and put good swings on both of them. Now you go see the breaking ball. He hit the home run on a high fastball, just missed one to left field. His next time up on the first pitch fastball.
And he's not wasting any time. It was a 1-0 pitch in the 2nd when he homered. 4-1 Boston. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Look out. A lot on the line as we speak. The Angels have lost. The Mariners can cut it to a game, and look right now as we speak, the Mariners with a percentage point lead over Detroit. Detroit lost to the White Sox. Yankees big winners earlier. Doubled up Kansas City 16-8. 1-1 to Beltre. Breaking ball he has to turn away from. 2-1.
Looked like a split maybe that got away from him.
Daisuke's hit a couple of batters tonight. It gives him 11. That's far and away the highest total on the Red Sox ball club. Next closest is Julian Taveras. Not a surprise. He's got 6. 2-1. Dug out by Veritek. 3-1 to Beltre. Turning him loose here.
Absolutely.
And Broussard on deck.
Ben Hot is swinging well. He's already homered once. If he gets a fastball he likes, and a 3-1 count, sure he's going to swing.
Broussard's hit the ball hard twice too. Might be the beginnings of something big here in the 6th. First and second, nobody out here in the 6th inning. Second walk issued by Daisuke. And right now the answer to the AT&T Red Pearl Shuffle is B. Thanks for playing, everybody. Here comes Ben Broussard. As we mentioned, he hit the ball hard twice tonight. Line drive to J.D. Drew in the second. And he doubled to left. Matsusaka's walked 2. He struck out 6. Long ball right here ties it up.
And they've had their opportunities. Just 1 for 5 in scoring position tonight.
You hear the fans going, ooh, for good reason. Good swing by Ben. Strike 1. Daisuke's given up 1 home run today. That's 16 on the year. It's the most given up by a Red Sox pitcher. Tim Wakefield's given up 15. Broussard, 6 homers, 23 runs knocked in. Part-time duty. On the ground, foul ball. Manny Del Carmen, we saw him last night. He's warming up. Nobody out. Runners at first and second for the Mariners. Banya's got hit by a pitch. Beltre drew a walk. Here's the 0-2 to Broussard. He chased. 1 out. 7th strikeout for Daisuke.
Well, that's how he's been getting out of trouble tonight. Breaking balls and then going to his high fastball. You can see Ben didn't want to. He knew it right after the fact.
Daisuke struck out 7, walked 2. He's got 1 out. First and second. Here's Kenji Jojima. Got an infield hit his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Breaking ball foul. Right side. Strike 1. Great crowd on hand again. Sellout number 7 last night. Sellout number 8 this evening. 0-1 to Jojima. Popped it up. Shortstop Lugo. Infield dirt. 2 down. Hey, Seahawk fans, football's back. FSN is getting you ready for the upcoming season by giving you insider access to Seahawks training camp. Be sure to tune in as we take you inside Seahawks camp every weeknight at 11 p.m. only on FSN. And we're going to have highlights of their scrimmage at Memorial Stadium earlier today. We'll have that after our game here tonight. 2 outs. Lopez will swing. 2 on. Line drive down the line, but it's hooking foul. 4-1 Red Sox. 2 runs in the 4th. 2-run double by Veritek. Throwing error by Guillen and an RBI double by Ramirez. Put 2 more on the board in the 6th. Oh, 1 to Lopez. Big gap in left center. Swing and a miss. Red Sox have stranded 3. The Mariners have stranded 5, and Jose in an 0-2 hole.
His personal high for strikeouts is 10 on the season. Would you say Mariners are at 7 already?
Mm-hmm. 2 walks. 0-2. Make it 8. Inning over, 2 stranded. Nothing across here in the 6th. Daisuke dealing. It's 4-1 Red Sox. Seattle 4-1 Boston. Mike Blowers, you got to work your magic here,
well,
pal.
There comes Kira. And you know what? Because there's so many Boston fans there, and we saw the signs with Boston fans. We're Boston fans send us rally fries. Are you kidding me? I mean, come on. So we're going to go with the guys. Forget the clam chowder. We're on the Seattle rally fries, and hopefully that's true tonight because the Mariners are down by 3 runs, and so they need a little bit of a rally, score some runs. There they go.
Oh, Jason and Jefferson.
Hello. That's thinking ahead. That way, guys.
And a baby. Enjoy the fries. Washburn working 9-1-2. And he's ahead of Julio Lugo 0-2. Lugo, Pedroia, and Euclid. Want to get the little guys because the Boston 2, 3, and 4 hitters are 5 for 8 with a ribby, 4 runs scored, 2 doubles, and 4 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Swing and a miss. He got him.
The doubles are the difference. That's where they're scoring the runs on the double. So Jared, other than that, it's pitched well. I thought last inning is the one that got away from him a little bit. Started getting some pitches in the middle of the plate early on. We talked about Euclid. Yeah, he's a good hitter, you know, hitting second for them. He caused a lot of problems. One, he takes a lot of pitches, but two, he stays on the ball so well, especially off of left-handers. We saw it last night with Ramirez and then again today with Jared.
Talked to him on the radio pregame show, Kevin Euclid, a Cincinnati guy, grew up watching Peter Edward Rose, Paul O'Neill. He only knows one way to play: hard and with enthusiasm. This young man. Again, it's Pedroia kid. Earlier in the year, boy, you couldn't find his batting average, and he's just killing it of late. He's 0 for 3 tonight, but coming in, 7 hits in his last 3 games, his last 15 games, hitting at a .379 clip.
Well, we found it somewhere because he's hitting .320 on the year.
Yeah. Worked his way through the system. 23 doubles, triple, 4 long balls. Here's a 2-1 from Washburn. 2-2. Jared faced 7 hitters back in the 6th inning. Boston went for 2 runs on 4 hits. It was an error. They did leave 3. Well, they left 1. I beg your pardon. I'm getting the wrong count. 3 on the night is what they left on bases. Jared now goes 3 and 2. Good look at Euclid on deck. Here's a 3-2. 1 out base runner. Second walk issued. Tomorrow, how about this matchup? Josh Beckett against Miguel Batista. What right now could be the rubber match of this. If this game goes the way it continues on its current pace, Mack is coming out and he's going to make a change. Ryan Roland Smith is going to get the call, the Aussie left-hander. 4-1 Boston. We're in the 7th. There's baseball, everybody. Here's some fans out enjoying Lake Washington today. If you're interested in getting into boating, check out discoverboating.com. Beautiful, beautiful day here in Seattle. Blue Angels getting ready for their big show tomorrow. I heard them buzzing around Seattle today. Ryan Roland Smith, the new pitcher. His 9th game. Done a good job eating up some innings. Here's Kevin Youkilis. Doubled to center his last time up. He's 2 for 3. Here's Washburn discussing pitching coach Rafael Chavez. 0-1 to Youkilis. Anything on Roland Smith to this point? He's been up a couple times. And point in the season, he's done some nice work.
He doesn't seem to be nervous at all. He comes in, throws strikes for the most part, has a good changeup at times. His fastball, we've seen it up 93, 94 miles an hour. A lot of guys, younger guys that have come up for the bullpen, have done a nice job this year.
Ball catch the corner.
I mean, he consistently has been doing that, especially this time around. He's throwing a lot of strikes. And with the way the starters have been going deeper, and we know what the back end of the bullpen does when they have a lead. He hasn't had a lot of opportunities being a long guy.
How do you do get off the plate fastball?
Nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely not. So, Bunky, you want to crowd the plate, eh?
I'll tell you what surprised him there was the velocity of it. That surprised him. See for another fastball.
Looked like he had that late life too, right?
Well, he does. It jumps on you a little bit, and I think that Kevin probably felt like he had gauged it pretty well. And you can see he's throwing hard again, 93, 94 miles an hour. Which you typically don't see from a lot of left-handers. Good pitch.
He's gone. Ryan Roland Smith, Youkilis. Talking to Mike Everett, disagrees with the call, but there's 2 down.
You see Joe's tracer Throws it right on the line. He might have been arguing that it was down. I don't think he was arguing that that wasn't on the plate.
2 outs here in the 7th. Big Papi David Ortiz try to pick up Euclid, and Ryan Rowland-Smith trying to shut him down. Bouncer foul. Ortiz tonight struck out, single to left, single to right. He scored twice. Having a strong year. Big breaking ball in there to Ortiz, hitting .326 up to the moment. Those Tracer agreeing with Mike Everett. 0-2. (4-1) Red Sox. 0-2 to Ortiz. Go way outside. 1-2. Washburn thinking about what could have been. Mariners 7th. It's going to be the bottom of the order. Betancourt, Ichiro, and Vidro. 9-1-2. Got him. Very effective pitching by Ryan Rowland-Smith. Gets 2 strikeouts to end the 7th. The offense, where is it? Maybe we'll find it in the home 7th. Stretch is brought to you by the Department of Social and Health Services, who remind you that youth gambling is not a game. Learn the signs, the risk, and what you can do at notagame.org today. 4-1 Red Sox. 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 6th. Blows all answers to the Beltre home run in the 2nd. Here's Betancourt to lead it off. 9-1-2 here in the 7th against Daisuke. Fly ball deep left field. Retreating is Manny. Track. Wall. It's gone. A home run by Yuniesky Betancourt, his 2nd in as many nights. He's got 7, and it's a 4-2 ball game. Uni with another long ball. Is he on fire or what? 2 hits tonight. 13 on the homestand.
Well, he's aggressive right away. He doesn't let Matsuzaka get settled in at all. This will be the Coors blast for the ball game. You can see the swing. Watch Manny. Looks like this ball goes up over the bullpen there. No chance.
Top of the order, Ichiro. Ichiro tonight, 0 for 3. Good look at our Coors Light Cold Blast provided by Unievsky Betancourt. A 3-run homer last night. A solo job here tonight. 4-2 Boston. Well, both runs tonight by the Mariners via the home run. Boy, get some serious pop out of the 9-hole. Talked to Adrian Beltre about him today, and Beltre said that this young man, along with Lopez, continue to grow day by day into outstanding major leaguers. 1-1 to Ichiro. It's in there for a strike. 1-2. John McLaren, he wants this one. Barking at Mike Everett. Last night, Uni, 2 for 4, home run, 4 ribbies. Tonight, 2 for 3, a home run and a run batted in. 4 for 7, 2 home runs and 5 RBIs in the last night and change. Down low to Ichiro. 2-2. Boy, the camera shutters are even making a lot of noise here down below. And our microphones are picking them up. That's how big this confrontation is. Ichiro 0 for 4. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Pounded into the ground. Lugo knows he's got to hurry. He does. He fires and he got him. 1 out. 1 out here in the 7th. A run in on the Betancourt home run. That'll bring up Jose Vidro. Vidro tonight, a strikeout, infield hit, and a walk.
John McLaren and Mike Everett still going at it. Daisuke now 105 pitches for the night, as high as 130 on the season.
Here's Vidro. (4-2) Boston. Mariners trying to rally to win their 10th consecutive game at Safeco against the Red Sox. They're 5-2 overall here in the season against Boston. Here's the 0-1. Popped out of play. So Betancourt goes deep. 2 for 3 night against Daisuke Matsusaka. Pitch 108 coming. Daisuke's given up 2 long balls tonight. 17 on the season. 0-2 to Vidro. Struck him out. 9th strikeout for Daisuke. 2 down here in the 7th.
Just 1 away from tying a season high.
Bottom fell out too, didn't it? Here's Jose Guillen, and it's been a long one for him. Struck out looking, struck out swinging, and an E9 on a throw. He tried to get a runner at third and airmailed it into the stands. Low ball 1. Jose second on the ball club now with 63 RBIs after Beltre tacked up number 64 with that solo home run back in the 2nd. Right down the middle. 1-1. Hideki Okajima warming up for Boston. 2 down here in the 7th. Daisuke's like a lot of the great Hall of Fame pitchers. There's Okajima. Giving up home runs, nobody on base.
He throws a lot of fastballs. He's not afraid to challenge guys, and we've talked about it. When you put him in the stretch and you get him in some trouble, he really slows down and starts throwing a lot more breaking balls.
Fouled back, 2-2.
And he's come after Jose all night long, trying to get him to chase high fastballs, which he's been able to do.
Yeah. And Jose had good numbers coming in against Daisuke, 4 for 8, but tonight he struck out 3 times. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, a 2-run deficit for the Mariners. Here's the pitch. The golden sombrero for Jose Guillen. He is K'd 4 times. That's 10 strikeouts tonight for Daisuke. He's given up just two solo jacks. It's 4-2 Boston. The bridge across Lake Washington will close at 12:45 p.m. for the Seafair hydroplane races. We encourage everyone coming to tomorrow afternoon's game to get here early. And if you're in the seats at 12:30, you can watch a great show put on by the long haul bombers, group of the best softball sluggers in the country. They're going to have a home run hitting contest. And we've seen them before, and I'm told that they've reached the upper deck with regularity. Manny Ramirez leading off here in the 8th. Ramirez, Lowell, and Veritek 4, 5, and 6 in the Boston lineup. Manny tonight struck out, walked, and scored, and delivered an RBI double. Manny's got his batting average up to 298. 18 home runs and 70 runs batted in. Boy, that was hit. Bullet for Unit. Easy out. Daisuke Matsusaka struck out 10, walked 2, and the only runs given up, solo home runs to Beltran in the 2nd and Beckett in the 7th. 4-2 Boston. Here's Mike Lowell. Mike 0 for 3. Eric Gagne, we saw enough of him in Texas a couple of weeks ago. Back-to-back saves. Swung on a miss by Lowell and a nice breaking ball.
He looked nasty.
Didn't he?
In Arlington, too. Yeah, he had some pretty good stuff down there. His fastball was back.
A couple of nights ago. Inside at Boston on their getaway day game. They had an afternoon game. Gagne walked to the bullpen and he got a standing O at Fenway Park. And then when he came in, as Lowell rifles one into the corner, that's trouble. Going to rattle around out there as Raul's going to get it back in. A double for Mike Lowell, his first base hit tonight. And for Mike, his 25th double of the season. Lowell having a nice year.
Pretty good spot to hit in when you think about it. With Manny and Ortiz hitting in front of you, he's going to get a lot of opportunities.
And Veritek is his numbers better than they were a year ago. Started the night at 273. Here's the captain. Veritek last year had some injury problems. Hit 238. 12 homers and 55 runs knocked in. And his best year, 04, the Magic year. He went 296 with 18 homers and 73 RBIs. The year before, 25 and 85 and homer RBI count. Swing and a miss. Red Sox Nation amping up the crowd here because Mariner fans refuse to get shouted down. 0-2 to Veritek. Dropped a beauty on him. Just dropped a hammer on him. Well done. 2 outs. Third strikeout by Ryan Roland Smith.
Veritek not happy with the call. It all looks like this breaking ball backdoors him a little bit. He thought it was outside. Well, might have had. Yep, you can see him. Mike Everett has had a few people question some of the calls that he's made tonight.
2 outs for J.D. Drew. 1 for 3. He's a strikeout victim back in the 4th by Washburn. Washburn started 6 1/3, 8 hits, 4 runs all earned. 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Bender in there for a strike, 1-1. Mariners 8th. It'll be Ibanez, Beltran, Broussard. Mike Lowell on second. J.D. Drew finally went on. Boy, they paid a lot of money for J.D. Drew, and he's giving them 245, 6, and 40 coming into today.
From what I remember, he got off to a pretty good start. Seemed like he hit some homers early and has struggled since.
I'm sure he's hearing it in Boston. Struck him out. Ryan Roland Smith, his 4th strikeout. Solid bullpen work by the Australian left-hander for the home 8, 4-2 Boston. Brought to you by Safeco Insurance. To find a local independent Safeco agent, visit safeco.com. By Money Tree, your cash solution. And by your Western Washington Toyota dealers, Toyota, moving you forward. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, and the FSN crew on hand here at Safeco, the 8th sellout of the season. 46,313. Raul Ibanez, Adrian Beltre, and Ben Broussard, the scheduled hitters here in the 8th. Eric Gagne on in relief of the starter Daisuke Matsusaka, who struck out 10 and walked 2. Mariners have seen more than they want to see of this man here. Gagne brought over last week in a trade deadline deal from Texas. Back on Monday the 23rd, he gave up a 3-run homer to Richie Sexton. Texas held on to win 8-7, and he saved the next 2 games. And Raul fouls off a curveball. There's what Gagne's done in his last 3 outings. Got a huge standing ovation. Walking to the bullpen in the 4th, and then he came on for the save against Baltimore. Red Sox fans went crazy. One to Raul. Down low. Daisuke Matsuzaka, 7 innings of 9 hit, 2-run ball, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts. 2-1 to Raul. Down low. All right, who do you like? When you grow up, Mike, whose hair do you want? You want Gagne or you want a little dreads?
I'm not sure I could get either one, to be honest with you. I'm sure you've noticed some of mine is leaving me as we speak.
Mine's long in the past tense. 3-1 to Raul. Tried to generate some juice there. 3-2. Mariner runs came on home runs. Beltre in the 2nd. Betancourt, yes, Yudieski Betancourt, his 2nd homer in as many nights. He hit one in the 7th. 3-2. See you later.
96 miles an hour. Let's know whether he's healthy or not.
1 out here in the 8th inning.
Had so much depth to their bullpen having this guy.
Papelbon, he can close with him. Heck, can close with this guy. You got Timlin. We saw him do some long work last night. Got Okajima, who's been outstanding. He's got filthy numbers. 2-0 with a 1.01 ERA. Japanese left-hander. Here's Beltre. 1 for 2 with a walk. His hitter, his 17th home run. Beltre 1 for 2 against Gagne. Big Bender. And they've 1 point saved 84 consecutive games. 152 out of 153. Staggering numbers when he was with the Dodgers. Couple of arm operations. Wound up signing, sat out for a while, wound up signing with Texas. Now he is with the team with the best record in baseball. 2-0. Hit high, but not far. Manny for the 2nd out.
Felt like there was going to be an opportunity for Adrian to do some damage there. It's a count in his favor, 2-0. Gagne knows he has a 2-run lead. I felt like he was going to challenge him, and so did Adrian. He just missed when skying it to left field.
It's tomorrow afternoon, everybody. The Red Sox and Mariners wrap up their exciting 3-game series at 105. All kids 14 and under. They're going to take home a pack of official Topps baseball cards featuring some of their favorite Mariner players. Thanks to the good folks at Topps. That's tomorrow at 105 right here at Safeco Field. 2 down, and here's Ben Broussard. Broussard 3 for 7 career against Gagne. Broussard, you remember back in the game on Monday, July 23rd, with 1 out, hit a screaming line drive with Lopez on first, and he was doubled up. That ended the game. Strike 1 to Ben. Then Ben pinch hit in the 9th on Tuesday the 24th against Gagne and struck out. Check swing. Out of play. Broussard getting the start. It's a tough right-hander, Daisuke Matsuzaka. And tonight lined out to right, double to left, struck out on an 0-2 pitch in the 6th, chasing some high heat. Two down, Gagne's ready. Popped right ball almost into the radio booth next door where Dave Niehaus and Rick Riz are on the air.
I think Gagne wanted to throw that pitch a little bit higher out of the zone, getting him 0-2, try to get him to chase again. As you mentioned, he struck out earlier. Started him off with a couple of breaking balls. If there's any secret, most people know that Ben is all over the fastball, and he can hit a good fastball too. I don't think he intended it to be in his area where he could actually hit it.
I'll tell you what, the best one he's hit, and Ben's got 6 home runs, but that grand slam he hit against Shields back in late April in Anaheim for a grand slam was only one of his biggest moments. Ben spent most of the year as a #1 pinch hitter. He's 5 for 20 with a homer and 5 runs knocked in as a pinch hitter.
From what I remember, he fouled off a bunch of pitches.
Yeah, didn't he? Remember
before
that?
He finally got him.
Up the middle, base hit. Ben Broussard with 2 outs. Broussard stays with it. Behind in the count.
It's a good changeup. He's out in front. Bounces it back up the middle. Doesn't even reach for it. Finds a hole.
Kenji Jojima's going to swing the bat against Gagne. Kenji 2 for 3 against Derek.
He
2 outs
homered last night.
Yes, sir. Kenji last night, as we look at their ace closer, Jonathan Papelbon. Papelbon with 24 saves. Up high to Kenji. Kenji last night on a 1-1 pitch in the 7th hit a 2-run homer off of Mike Timlin. Is the tying run. And that's the pitch he usually turns on. He must have been sitting on something else. Middle in, right?
He probably thought he was going to get a breaking ball or a changeup. First pitch fastball for a ball. I don't think he thought he was going to come back with it.
(4-2) Boston, bottom 8. Fastball in there for strike, 1-2.
Yeah, he's clearly been sitting on something soft.
Brendan Morrow getting ready. Brendan in a real nice groove his last 5-6 appearances. Fine work by Ryan Roland Smith. He came in and struck out 4. One and 2. Foul back. Kenji Jojima, tough customer. Hitting .275. He got an infield hit earlier. 1 for 3. 10 hits on the homestand. Mariners 6-2 on his second longest homestand of the year. Here's the 1-2 to Kenji. Runner goes down low. So Broussard in scoring position, and that's a stolen base for Ben. And from Broussard, he's 2 for 2. The 2-2 to Kenji Jojima. Kenji representing the tying run in this 4-2 Boston lead. Gagne's ready. 2-2 pitch. Well hit. Left field. Manny going back. Not going to get it. Ben's going to score. It's 4-3. Kenji will hold with a single. Kenji Jojima rockets one off the wall in left field. It's a 4-3 ball game. RBI number 44 for Kenji.
So the stolen base ends up paying off. You can see this pitch. It's just a line drive that's going to hit out there. Nice play by Manny to come back and keep Kenji to a single on the play. Gagne just fastball after fastball to Kenji, and he finally hits one.
Willie Bloomquist, fresh legs. He's in the run from Kenji Jojima. That means Jamie Burke will get some action. He'll catch the knife. Here's Lopez. 0 for 3 tonight. Line drive, left field. Manny charging, not going to get it. Base hit. Bloomquist goes to third. Lopez into second with a double. Going to bring up the Mariners' hottest hitter. Their 9-hole hitting shortstop, Daisuke Betancourt. Jose Lopez with his 14th double. And what a biggie. Kenji enjoying that as Willie. Goes to third. Second and third. 2-out lightning for the Mariners. Sizzling hot. Daisuke Betancourt 2 for 3 tonight. A single. A solo home run. Big 3-run jack last night. 4 RBI night last evening. If Uni can do some work, the big guy's starting to heat up. J.J. Putz, 4-3 Boston. Good speed on the bases.
Uni should know he's probably going to come after him. He should get a good pitch to hit in the first couple with Ichiro on deck.
Strike one.
First base is open and Betancourt's been hot, but Ichiro, if he puts a ball in play anywhere, he has the opportunity to get a hit.
Terry Francona sweating it out. His ball club's lost 9 consecutive games here at Safeco. Mariners 5-2 on the year against the Sox. The pitch stays off it. 1-1. What an inning. Obana strikes out looking. Beltre just missed the pitch on a 2-0 pitch. Flied out to left field. Base hit Broussard. Base hit Jojima. And now a double Uni. Comebacker. Inning over. Tough break. 2 stranded. 1 plated. But the gap has been narrowed to 4-3 as we turn our attention to the 9th inning here at Safeco. Ball on FSN is brought to you by your Northwest Chevy dealers. See your Northwest Chevy dealers today or visit us online at northwestchevydealers.com. By Southwest Airlines, with more flights to more places than ever before. Southwest is taking low fare further. Visit southwest.com. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. 4-3 Red Sox as the Mariners put a run on the board in the 8th. Last night we looked at Mark Lowe, our Banner Bank building to the future, and he turned in a nice performance last night, Mike.
Very nice. It's good to see him healthy again. He's topped out at 96 miles an hour. He was right around 93 consistently, but he had a pretty good fastball last night. We take a look at Brandon Morrow.
Morrow, the new pitcher, the third pitcher tonight. Washburn, Roland Smith, and now Morrow. Jamie Burke catching. Jojima after the base hit, the RBI base hit. A pinch ran for him with Bloomfield. So now Jamie Burke is in the game. 1-1. Morrow facing 8-9-1. Chris Lugo and Pedroia. One and one. Way outside. There's Morrow's season numbers. Strikeouts and walk ratio a lot better than it was a couple of weeks ago. Fouled away, 2-2. Last 3 outings, Brandon Morrow, very dependable. Look at that, 1 hit in 4 1/3.
7 strikeouts.
Big spots too. 2-2. Struck him out. 1 down here in the 9th. Mariner relief pitching now struck out 3 consecutive batters. Ryan Roland Smith nifty effort in an inning and 2/3. He struck out 4. Lugo overmatched there, and Nissan shift to the bullpen. Take that, Chris, beg your pardon. Crisp 0 for 4. Here's Lugo now. Fouled away. Julio's got an infield hit in the 3rd. Popped out to Beltran and struck out in the 7th. Mariners will at the top of the order in the home 9th. Ichiro, Vidro, and Guillen. Pass Beltran. Down the line. Great wheels, Lugo. Here's a throw, and it's cut off. A 1-out double for Julio Lugo. His 20th of the season. A 2 for 4 night for Julio. Down into the corner it goes. 1 out. Top of the order. Here's Dustin Pedroia. Mariners have left 9 runners on tonight. Boston's left 5. 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors for Boston. 3 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors by the Mariners. 1 by Raul, 1 by Jose Guillen. Pedroia is 1 for 1 against Brandon Morrow. Ever trying to break it up, and does. Pedroia, pesky hitter, having a nice year. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. Been on fire of late the last 15 games. Hitting 375 plus. Lopez leaving a gap right side as he holds the runner at second. Ball 1 to Pedroia.
Everybody in the outfield came in a couple of steps. Lugo with good speed. They don't have an opportunity to throw him out ground ball gets through. Jose really doing a good job of holding him.
Popped up, playable. Guillen coming in. Lopez going back. Guillen has the forward momentum, so he better chance of doing any kind of throw, and he gets a second out. That's going to bring up Kevin Youkilis. Time now for our U.S. Marine Corps leaders of the game. Best relief ERA in the American League. Okajima with a 1.01. J.J. Putz and George Sherrill combining for 1.38. And they each have a 1.38. That's impressive. And the best in the game right here at Safeco. Boston with runners in scoring position tonight, 4 for 11. They've left 6. Mariners 3 for 11, leaving 9. Here's Youkilis, 2 outs. Youkilis, base hit the center. As we look at Papelbon, we'll undoubtedly see him coming up in the 9th, and he'll look at Ichiro, Vidro, and Guillen.
George is ready to go for Ortiz.
2 down. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Youkilis.
Nice pitch.
1-1. Youkilis with a base hit to center, fly out to center, a double to center, and a strikeout. Here's the 1-1. Good heat, 95 miles an hour, 1-2. Good old-fashioned country hardball right there. I'm going to bring it, see if he can hit it.
Well, that's after he throws an 87-mile-an-hour split.
Here's the 1-2 to Youkilis. Got him. So Morrow gets 2 strikeouts. Ryan Roland Smith does the job. Now they'll have to beat one of the best in Jonathan Papelbon. It's 4-3 Boston. Caliber baseball, 4-3 Boston, second of 3-game set here at Safeco. And one of the aces, when you're talking about one of the best in the business, include Jonathan Papelbon in the conversation. 56 strikeouts to 11 walks, and he'll face the top of the order. For the Mariners, Ichiro, Vidro, and Guillen. And keep in mind that Guillen already has the golden sombrero with 4 Ks tonight. Papelbon, 6th in the American League with 24 saves. J.J. Putz leading the way with 32. Papelbon's got the whole package, Mike.
Well, he does. He throws a lot of strikes, a lot like J.J. A lot of fastballs.
Ichiro tonight, 0 for 4. Crowd into it tonight. I'm telling you, playoff caliber intensity in this 4-3 game. 2 runs in the 4th for the Red Sox, a 2-run Veritek double. And Harris scored 1 in the 6th, and Manny drove in another in the 6th. Mariners with a Beltre homer in the 2nd. In the 7th, they get a Betancourt solo homer. And then a Jojima RBI single in the 8th. And oh, by the way, Ichiro has not homered since June 4th against Baltimore. Papelbon's first pitch. Right down the middle, strike 1. The Mariners drew closer. They got a run on 3 hits against Eric Gagne. That was in the 8th. Ichiro 0 for 1 against Papelbon. Popped up out of play. 0-2.
Watching the pitch looks familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just like JJ, 96 miles an hour, throwing strikes with his fastball, challenging guys. He's a pretty good one.
Here's JJ Putz, Mark Lowe, and the rest of the bullpen. Papelbon is ready. Here's the 0-2 to Ichiro. Look out. Papelbon said he likes the whole attitude that Mariano Rivera has with the Yankees. Just talked to him, studied him, and done a pretty good job copying him. Last year, 35 saves for Papelbon, all-time Major League rookie saves leader. That's 3rd all-time. 0-2 to Ichiro. Struck him out. 1 down here in the 9th. 12th time a Mariner has been struck out tonight.
Don't see too many swings like this from Ichiro. Just his fastball, right fastball, no chance. He's right by him.
1 down in the 9th, a 1-run ball game. Here's Vidro. First time he's facing Papelbon. Split and he chased it, strike 1. Mariners have left 9 runners stranded. They left the bases loaded in the 3rd. They left 2 on in the 6th, 2 on in the 8th. Here's the 0-1 from Papelbon. Fouled away, 0-2. Mariners holding on to a 9-game consecutive win streak here at Safeco against these Red Sox, but that is in high jeopardy right now. Mariners 5-2 against Boston on the season.
6 pitches, all of them for strikes.
Mariners with the win can take a half-game lead in the wild card chase. 0-2 to Vidro. He's in there at 95 as he fouls it away. There's Tracer heading at 97.
See that pitch, the first pitch that's down out of the zone. That's a split. Jose sitting over on the on-deck circle watching him pump fastballs into Ichiro. Took a shot at one and guessed wrong.
Jose Guillen 0 for 4, all strikeouts. 0-2 to Vidro. Split down in the dirt. 1-2. Papelbon, born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, lives in Jacksonville, Florida. 1-2 to Vidro. Struck him out with a nasty splitter. 2 down in the ninth.
Watch him throw. It basically comes down to a guessing game. You want to cheat and get out there to catch up to 95, 96 miles an hour on his fastball. That's exactly what Jose did. He just guessed wrong. You see this ball down in the zone. He splits 87, 88.
But here's Jose Vidro, who struck out once looking, 3 times swinging, the golden sombrero. Maybe he can guess right and turn one around here. Tried to, strike 1. There have been 13 Mariner strikeout victims tonight. Most of it at the top of the order. Ichiro once, Vidro 3 times, Guillen 4, Ibanez twice. 0-1 to Guillen. 4-3 Boston. Mariners made it close in the 8th. Gagne got a strikeout, a fly out, then gave up 3 consecutive base hits. And then Betancourt hit a tapper with runners at second and third with 2 outs to end the inning. Here we are, 2 outs in the ninth, 1-1 to Guillen. Way outside. 2-1. First time that Guillen is facing Papelbon. 2-1. Did he hold? He did. 3-1. On deck, Raul Ibanez, 0 for 4 tonight.
Take a look at it. Let me decide.
Woo.
I caught a break there.
Si, senor. Three and 1 to Guillen. Swing and a miss. It's all down to this in a 1-run ball game. 3-2. Papelbon against Guillen. Mariners 9-game win streak against the Swats here at Safeco on the line. Crowd coming to its feet. Papelbon gets the signal from Veritek. The 3-2 pitch. Fouled out of play. Do it again. Daisuke Matsuzaka, 7 innings of 9 hit, 2-run ball. He walked 2, struck out 10. Betancourt hitting hero again. 2 hits, including a solo home run. Now the Mariners hanging on. It's 4-3. Papelbon has already struck out Ichiro and Vidro. He's 3-2 to Guillen. Ball 4.
That's the Adam Jones.
Adam Jones indeed is going to run for Jose Guillen. Jones gets the run for Guillen. Will milk a 2-out walk from Papelbon. Jones can fly.
Well, that's what's going to make it interesting. John McLaren will turn him loose and let him go.
Here's Raul Ibanez. 2 outs in a 1-run ball game. Raul represents the winning run. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Ibanez 0 for 1 career against Papelbon. Jones with a decent lead. Well, pitch. There he goes. The throw down to second. Not in time. Stolen base. Adam Jones. His first of the 07 season.
He stole that base easily. Take a look at it. Pretty good jump. See, he's on the base. Throw's just getting there.
Veritek only throws out 23.9% of base steals, and that just went down. He's 11 for 47. 1-1 to Raul Ibanez. Jones represents the tying run. Raul is the winning run. Raul tonight 0 for 4, struck out twice. 4-3 Red Sox. Bottom 9, 2 out. Nice stop by Veritek. 2-1 to Raul Ibanez. Ibanez back in the lineup tonight. Rode some pine last night against Boston with Lester. The left-hander on the mound. Adam Jones made his 07 debut. 2 down, bottom 9. 1-run lead for Boston. Papelbon set. Jones at second, a good lead. The pitch. Outside. 3-1. On deck, Adrian Beltre. 8th sellout here at Safeco. 46,313.
So far, every time Papelbon has gotten to a hitter's count, he's come back with fastballs. Not so sure he'll do that now with first base open, but you don't want to put the winning run on either, so this will be interesting to see.
3-1. Missed outside.
It looked like a split, too. 88 miles an hour, that's a split.
The winning run is at first base, and here comes Adrian Beltre. Papelbon struck out Ichiro on an 0-2 pitch. He struck out Vidro on a 1-2. Then he loses Guillen on a 3-2 pitch and loses Raul 3-1. Beltre 0 for 2 career against Papelbon. Adrian's been a hot hitter since the start of the second half. Popped up, playable. Veritek, he's got it. Game over. Red Sox end their 9-game losing streak here at Safeco Field with a playoff intense 4-3 victory.
It's difficult, but the guys still have a chance to win the series tomorrow. They're going to go to bed and come right back here and do it. And that's what they've been talking about. A couple opportunities early in this game that they weren't able to cash in.
Mariners leave 11 base runners stranded, and Boston wins 4-3. Final score 4-3 Red Sox. Coming up on the post game, Seahawks scrimmage, Bonds and A-Rod big homers, and we're going to hear from the Mariners. For Mike Flowers, I'm Dave Sims. Real good evening of baseball here. Glad you could join us. Red Sox 4-3 post game show beginning right now.